What's going on there, YouTube, and welcome back to another comic book video. Alright guys, so it's time for us to jump back into more Ultimate Marvel comics. And today guys, we're gonna pick up with Ultimate Spider-Man Volume 7. Now guys, we are basically gonna be on Spider-Man for probably this week plus next week and the week after that for our Ultimate Marvel reading order. Now guys, if you are new to my channel, right now we are doing the Ultimate Marvel reading order. And so guys, so far we have covered Ultimate Spider-Man, Ultimate X-Men, Ultimate Fantastic Four, the Ultimates, Ultimate Elektra and Daredevil, and so on and so on. But anyways guys, today we are going to cover Ultimate Spider-Man Volume 7. Now guys, this is where Spider-Man teams up with the Ultimate X-Men. And so guys, I do hope you enjoyed this video. So let's go ahead and dive into Ultimate Spider-Man and his team up with the Ultimate X-Men. Now guys, when it comes to Ultimate Spider-Man Volume 7, we do pick up with Ultimate Spider-Man number 40 to begin our story. Now, we do pick up with Peter Parker. And the thing is though guys, right now you have Peter Parker going around New York hoping that there is some store out there that could be selling a Spider-Man outfit. And the reason why he's doing that is because back in Ultimate Spider-Man Volume 6, the Venom storyline, Peter Parker lost his Spider-Man outfit. He lost the outfit. And so right now he's hoping that maybe there is some store out there that could be selling a Spider-Man outfit that he could buy so that he continue being Spider-Man in the Ultimate Universe. Now, we do jump over to Midtown High. Now, we do pick up once again with Peter Parker. And the thing is though guys, Peter Parker's in class right now, but he is not focusing in class because right now his mind is wandering. He is thinking about so many different things right now. For example, where in the world can he get another Spider-Man outfit? Now, Mary Jane is sitting in class right now, and Mary Jane is looking at Peter, and she's kind of like, okay, something is on his mind. And so you have Mary Jane try to write Peter Parker a note while they're both in class, hoping that the teacher will not see. Now guys, remember, at this point of Ultimate Spider-Man, Peter Parker and Mary Jane, they are not together at all. Mary Jane dumped Peter back in Volume 5. And so right now, Peter Parker, Mary Jane, they are not a couple. And so you have Peter kind of like, why do you care? Why do you care at all? You dumped me. So obviously you don't care for me. I ran to you and I cried my heart out to you. And once again, you shut me down. And so Peter Parker's kind of like, why do you care? If I'm mad, why do you care? Because if you care, you would not have dumped me. You would have stayed with me. Now, we're gonna jump forward a few pages because the next few pages are really not important at all. And so we pick up with a random woman right now trying to run away from a group of gangsters because right now they are trying to rob her. Now, of course, you do have Peter Parker trying to step in and be like, hey, you know, I'm Spider-Man and I'm here to protect you. The problem is though, Peter Parker is wearing an outfit that is not done yet at all. Literally it's not done yet. The mask is falling apart. The shirt is oversized. He's right now just wearing an outfit hoping that it will last long enough until he's able to get another Spidey outfit. And so this part may not seem very important, but it's kind of cool to see Peter Parker still out there trying to be a superhero, even though his outfit is 25% done right now. But it's still kind of cool to see him out there being a superhero. Now, we do jump forward a couple hours in time, And the thing is though, we do pick up with Peter Parker right now at home in his basement, just working on some different kind of Spidey gear. Now, while he's working on those kind of gears and everything, Gwen Stacy does walk into the room. Now, luckily for Peter Parker, he had enough time to hide his Spidey gear from Gwen Stacy. But the thing is though, you have Gwen Stacy kind of like, hey Peter, listen, you and I are both losers. So you and I should basically go out to this party I heard that's going on tonight because we need to have some fun in our life. Now at first, Peter's kind of like, okay, you just called you and me both losers. So why would two losers go to a party? But you have Gwen kind of like, because we still need fun in our lives. And so Peter Parker and Gwen Stacy, they go to a party that's going on right now in their neighborhood. Now, once they get there, of course, Peter Parker and Gwen Stacy are kind of like, this party is whack. This party is lame. Why in the world did we come to this party at all? Now, Peter Parker's kind of like, let's just go ahead and go home. The problem is though, as he's trying to go home, Mary Jane walks in this all black outfit. And guys, when I say Mary Jane is trying to get some guys' numbers, she is trying to get some guys' numbers. But she's walking in and Peter Parker's kind of like, Mary Jane, what are you wearing right now? Like, what is that outfit? The problem is though, before Peter Parker is able to talk to Mary Jane about her outfit, he starts to hear explosions going on outside the house where the party's going on at. And so when Peter Parker walks out, all he sees is that a bunch of cars have been blown up. And there's one man standing on top of a car, just going around blowing up different cars in the neighborhood the party's going on at and everything. And so it's kind of like, who in the world is this character? Now guys, when it comes to Ultimate Spider-Man number 41, with this book right here guys, it does pick up where number 40 left off at. Now, you do have Peter Parker watching this kid who is right now just blowing up a bunch of different cars in this neighborhood. And Peter's kind of like, okay, you know what? It's time for me to change into my Spidey outfit and stop this kid. The problem is though, Gwen Stacy, Mary Jane, Liz Allen, they're all pulling Peter Parker away saying, dude, we have to leave because right now the cops are coming. This party has been busted. It's time for us to go home. And so Peter Parker is kind of like, she's right. I cannot leave Gwen Stacy, Mary Jane, and Liz Allen out here right now with the cops coming because we all snuck out of our houses to come to this party. And thing is, if we get arrested, well, we're screwed. And so Peter Parker is trying to get away with Mary Jane, Liz Allen, and Gwen Stacy. Now, we do jump forward to like the bus stop like an hour later at a bus stop. And the thing is though, while Peter Parker, Gwen Stacy, Liz Allen, Mary Jane, as they are waiting for a bus to come and get them at a bus stop, you have Gwen Stacy and Liz Allen asking one another, who was that kid who was blowing up those cars? Now, you do have these random two teenagers off the bus stop tell Peter Parker and his friends that the kid who was blowing up the cars, his name is Geldof, and I really hope I pronounced that name correctly. But you have the two girls say, we think he is some kind of mutant, but yeah, his name is Geldof, and he is always blowing things up at our school. Now, we do jump forward to like 5 minutes after the bus arrived at the bus stop. And the thing is though, guys, this is Brian Michael Bendis beginning the stage of getting Mary Jane and Peter Parker back together. Because Peter Parker and Mary Jane, they're sitting together on the bus. And the thing is though, they do start talking to one another about how they feel for one another. That Mary Jane does miss Peter Parker. That Peter Parker does miss Mary Jane. And so you have these two people just basically getting back together. Now, Mary Jane does hand Peter Parker a letter saying, listen, do not open this letter up until you get home. And of course, as soon as Peter Parker gets home, he does open up the letter and this long, beautiful message that tells Peter Parker that Mary Jane still loves him. And of course, Peter Parker runs over to her house. He sneaks into her window and says, was it true? Is it true? Do you love me? And Mary Jane says, yes. I'm just so scared, Peter. But the thing is, Peter Parker, being the man he is, he's kind of like, listen, girl, I got you. We can do this. Let's try this once again to be a power couple. Now, we do jump forward to the next day. And the thing is, though, guys, we do pick up back again at Midtown High. And the thing is, though, guys, once again, you got Peter Parker and Mary Jane at the school right now, just walking around and seeing that Geldof's name has been spray painted on the lockers. It is kind of like, okay, who is this Geldof person? And you have Peter Parker kind of like, you know what? After school, I need to find this kid and figure out if he's a bad guy or a good guy, because he can do some harm to innocent people. The thing is, though, you have Liz Allen run into the high school to Mary Jane, Gwen Stacy, and Peter Parker and say, hey, that same kid, Geldof, who was blowing up cars last night at the party, is doing it again right now at his school. He is blowing up cars once again at the school. And so you have Peter and Mary Jane kind of like, okay, Peter, you have to leave. Like, you have to leave right now. And so Mary Jane hands Peter Parker a suit that she was making for him. Now, once again, this bodysuit is not finished yet. And so the suit he gets from Mary Jane is again a halfway done suit. But at this point, Peter has no choice. He has to take this half-finished suit and go stop Geldof from blowing up cars at Geldof's high school. Now, guys, when it comes to Ultimate Spider-Man number 42, it does pick up where number 41 left off at. And the thing is, though, guys, we do pick up with Peter Parker basically arriving at the high school of Geldof. Now, when Peter Parker gets there, all he sees is that Geldof has basically been blowing up a tons of different people cars. And so Peter's kind of like, dude, what are you doing? Like, why are you blowing up people cars for? Like, use your powers for good, not evil. And the thing is, though, you have Geldof kind of like, who are you? Are you supposed to be Spider-Man? Because your outfit sucks. Now, Peter's kind of like, listen, this outfit's unfinished, but yes, I am Spider-Man, and I came here to stop you, because all I've been hearing on the radio is that basically you've been blowing up people cars for no good reason. Why are you doing this? Now, before Peter Parker is able to continue his conversation with Geldof, the police are arriving at the scene because, hey, listen, a random kid blowing up cars at a random high school, that's kind of a big deal. And so you have Peter kind of like, listen, you know what? I am going to let the cops deal with you. I'm going back home. Forget about this. But the thing is, though, as soon as Peter Parker is trying to web sling away, Geldof grabs onto Peter Parker's leg. And so with that happening right there, Peter Parker has no choice to basically take Geldof with him to a nearby rooftop, because Geldof is literally hanging off Peter Parker's leg in mid-air. Now, this is where Brian Michael Bendis basically gives us more information about Geldof. And the thing is, though, you have Geldof say, listen, I have the ability to blow up things. All I have to do is point my hand at something I want to blow up, and basically a small little ball of energy comes out of my hand and that object blows up. That's it. That is my powers. And so you have Peter kind of like, okay, well, you have an accent, so where are you from? And you have Geldof say, I am from Latveria. The thing is, though, I was an orphan. Now, I was adopted by an American family, but yes, I am from Latveria. I used to live on the streets until an American family came to adopt me. Now, you do have Peter kind of like, okay, so one big question. Are you a mutant? Now, as soon as Peter asks Geldof that if he's a mutant, Geldof gets angry. He gets pissed off. He's like, do not ever call me a mutant. I am not one of those horrible creatures. I am not a mutant at all. And so Peter's kind of like, okay, you know what? Let's rewind, because apparently me calling you a mutant just pissed you off. I'm just trying to figure out what in the world are you, basically? Like, what are you? And the thing is, though, you have Peter say, listen, dude, you have powers that could literally help people out. So why not try to use your powers for good? And you have Geldof kind of like, okay, but why would I do that? And so you have Peter kind of like, you know what? Stay here. Because right down there right now, somebody's being robbed. Watch me do what I do. And hopefully I can inspire you to be a hero, not some crazy kid just blowing things up. And so you do have Peter Parker go down, and he tries to fight against a bunch of I can't talk, sorry. He goes I can't talk, sorry. You do have Peter Parker go down to the store, and he does try to stop the random thugs who are trying to rob this store. The thing is, though, while Peter Parker is trying to take care of these thugs to show Geldof that it's better to be a hero, not a bad guy, Geldof throws a small bomb down there, and he blows up a car right behind Peter Parker, which also blows up part of the store. And so with that happening right there, you have Peter kind of like, dude, you could have killed somebody. With you blowing up that car, you could have killed me. You could have killed an innocent bystander. You could have killed one of those gangsters. We don't kill. We are heroes. If I'm trying to show you what a hero to be like, a hero does not kill people. A hero tries to save people's lives. He tried to stop supervillains without killing them. He said, you are not being a hero. You're just being a reckless, dumb kid. Now, with that right there, that pissed Geldof off, because now you have Peter calling him basically a bunch of names. But the thing is, though, before Geldof is able to attack Peter Parker, they are greeted by Jean Grey, Storm, and Kitty Pryde from the Ultimate X-Men. Now guys, when it comes to Ultimate Spider-Man number 43, with this book right here, guys, we do pick up with Mary Jane, Gwen Stacy, and the rest of their classmates, because right now school is still going on at Midtown High. But the thing is, though, the teacher is kind of like, hey, quick question, where in the world is Peter Parker? Because he's the one person who actually pays attention in my class, and he's not here right now. So where in the world is Peter Parker at? And the thing is, though, you do have Mary Jane trying to cover for her boyfriend. She's kind of like, oh, he's in the bathroom, or so on and so on. Like, she is trying to cover for her boyfriend. The thing is, though, she's doing a bad job at trying to cover for her boyfriend. Now, luckily for Mary Jane, the school does make an announcement saying the rest of the school day has been canceled, because what's going on at the other high school with Geldof blowing up cars left and right, you have Midtown High saying, listen, basically our sister high school is having some issues with mutants, and so right now we are going to cancel school here also at Midtown High. Now, we do jump over to Peter Parker, Jean Grey, Shadowcat, Storm, and Geldof. And the thing is, though, Geldof passed out. He literally passed out. As soon as the 3 X-Men flew down to talk to him, he passed out just like that. He's kind of like, oh crap, the X-Men are here, which means I am a mutant. And guys, remember, when it comes to Geldof, he hates mutants. He hates mutants with a passion. And so with the X-Men arriving, he just found out that possibly he could be a mutant. Now, with that happening right there, you do have Kitty Pryde, Shadowcat, Storm contact Charles Xavier. They're kind of like, hey, so what should we do with him? And you have Charles kind of like, I guess you should probably bring him back to the mansion, because I have equipment that we can use to figure out what's going on with him. Because this right here, my angels, is a very special case. I don't know why I find it so weird with Charles Xavier calling the three girls, Storm, Kitty Pryde, and Jean Grey, his angels. But he says, bring them back here. Bring Geldof back to the mansion, because he is a very special case. Now, you do have Jean Grey, Kitty Pryde, and Storm kind of like, hey, do you want to come back home with us and see the mansion? Now, this is Brian Michael Bendis planting the seed for Kitty Pryde and Peter Parker to date. Now, guys, this is me giving you the heads up, because later on down the road, Peter Parker and Kitty Pryde, they are going to date. And this is Brian Michael Bendis' first attempt to plant the seeds of Kitty Pryde and Peter Parker dating. Now, we do jump back over to Midtown High. And the thing is though, as the kids are being picked up by their parents because, hey, the school day has been canceled, May arrives. And she's kind of like, Mary Jane, where is Peter Parker? Because he's not here. I have been looking all over for him. Where is he? And Mary Jane's kind of like, crap. Now I have to cover for him again, but this time with Aunt May. Now, we do jump back over to Kitty Pryde, Jean Grey, Storm, and Spider-Man, because right now they're in the X-Jet bringing Geldof back to Charles Xavier. The thing is though, as soon as Geldof wakes up, he freaks out. He realized that he's on some kind of jet, and with him freaking out, of course, he blows up the X-Jet. And the X-Jet starts to do what it does best when it gets blown up. It starts to crash into the ground, because Geldof basically freaked out because he woke up and see the X-Men flying him somewhere on their private jet. Now guys, when it comes to Ultimate Spider-Man number 44, with this book right here guys, we do pick up with Aunt May and Gwen Stacy right now at home, just waiting for Peter Parker to come home. The thing is though, as they're waiting for Peter Parker to walk into the house, Aunt May gets a phone call. She gets a phone call from the teacher we saw earlier, the same teacher who was questioning Mary Jane on where is Peter Parker. And the thing is though, you have the teacher tell Aunt May, hey, listen, question for you. Did you know that Peter Parker was not in my class today? And my class took place right before the announcement was made that the rest of the school day is going to be canceled. And so with Aunt May being questioned and finding out that Peter Parker was not in school before the announcement was made, Aunt May realized that her nephew basically skipped school. And she called the Daily Bugle. He's not there. And so you have Aunt May kind of like, Gwen Stacy, do you know anything about Peter at all, where he could be at right now? And you better not lie to me. And Gwen's kind of like, nope, I have no idea at all. And honestly, if I did, I would tell you, because right now you're giving me the death look. Now, you do have Aunt May break into the basement, and she starts to look around Peter Parker's room to see, hey, maybe I can find some clues on about my nephew and see what he has been up to the past couple days. The problem is though, as she's going through Peter Parker's stuff, she can't find anything at all. I mean, she cannot find out one piece of evidence about what Peter Parker could be up to. Now, she tries to break into his computer, but of course, his computer is password protected. Now, we do jump over to the X Mansion, the home of the X-Men. Now, you do have Peter Parker wake up, and the thing is though, with him waking up, he realized that he is no longer on the X-Jet, which means that he has been knocked out for a couple hours now. Now, you do have Jean Grey kind of give him a small recap saying, after Geldof basically blew up the X-Jet, Storm, Kitty Pryde, and Jean Grey basically worked their butt off to save Spider-Man, but to also save Geldof from hitting the ground after Geldof blew up the X-Jet. Now, you do have Peter Parker ask Charles Xavier about Geldof, because the thing is though, he heard Charles Xavier say that Geldof is a special case. And so you have Charles Xavier say, listen, Geldof is technically not even a mutant, but he has a mutant gene. And so it's kind of like, what do you mean? If he's not a mutant, but he has a mutant gene, what are you talking about? And the thing is though, you have Charles Xavier say, listen, when it comes to my X-Men, they were born with the mutant gene. But when it comes to Geldof, he was not born with the mutant gene at all. That somebody altered his gene and gave him a mutant gene, which gave him his powers. So technically, he's not a mutant, but he does have a mutant gene because somebody altered his genes. And so it's kind of like, what in the world happened to him? Now, Brian Michael Bendis doesn't really build on this story at all, but basically what he's saying is somebody's out there playing around with genes and altered his genes around to give Geldof a mutant gene. Now, Peter Parker does go home to the home of Aunt May, but like I said, guys, Aunt May wants to know what Peter Parker could be up to, because as soon as he walks into the house, Aunt May is right there and she's just staring him down, kind of like, where have you been? Now, to go ahead and wrap up Ultimate Spider-Man Volume 7, we do pick up with Ultimate Spider-Man number 45. And honestly, guys, I'm not going to sit here and try to cover this book right here, because the only thing that happens is you do have Aunt May kind of ask Peter Parker a bunch of different questions like, hey, where have you been? School called, you were not at school. Called your job, you weren't there. When Gwen had no idea where you were, Mary Jane tried her best to lie for you, but of course she failed. So where were you at? And Peter tried to give Aunt May a bunch of different lies, like, oh, I was here, I was there. But again, Aunt May is kind of like, I called there, I went there, you weren't there. So Peter, once again, where were you at? And so Peter's kind of like, it's not a big deal, whatever. And he tries to blow it off. But of course, Aunt May is kind of like, no, I'm tired of this. You come home late at night, you come home with bruises, bleeding sometimes. You're always kind of like staying in your basement more often now. I want to know what's going on with you. And so you do have Aunt May like grab his backpack and they start to fight over his backpack. This is Aunt May trying to hope that maybe she'll find something in his backpack. But the thing is though, the only thing that comes out of Peter Parker's backpack is a book that Peter Parker's mother used to read to Peter when he was a young boy every night. And you have Peter say, the reason why I didn't go to school is because I found that book right there. I found that book. It belonged to my mother, and I sat down and read that book at the mall. Now, we know he's lying. We all know he's lying. This boy is out there with the X-Men, doing all these different crazy things, but he's telling Aunt May, the reason why I didn't go to school today or work or even like give you a phone call is because I was at the mall reading this book. The same book my mother used to read to me when I was a young boy. before she died. And so with Aunt May hearing that, she takes a step back and she's kind of like, maybe I'm just being overprotective. Now, in reality, we know Peter Parker is lying, but he's lying so good right now. Aunt May is kind of like, I'm in the wrong. I broke into this boy's room looking for clues, trying to figure out what he's been doing, but the only thing he was doing was reading a book that his mom used to read to him. And that's really it, guys. I mean, there is a second half to number 45 where Aunt May does go see a therapist, but honestly, that's not really important. It's really a cool story to read, but besides that, this is the end of Ultimate Spider-Man number 40. This is the end of Ultimate Spider-Man Volume 7. Now, if you did like today's video, please leave me a like down below and also subscribe for more comic book videos down the road. But also, guys, the next video, we're going to cover the prelude to Ultimate 6. The prelude, where basically we get to see the Sinister Six in the Ultimate Universe. But we are going to cover the prelude to that storyline right there. But anyways, guys, I'm out of here. Like I said, if you did like today's video, please leave me a like and also subscribe. But also, if you have any suggestions on books we should read and cover on my channel, well, hey, let me know in the comments below. But I'm out, guys. Later. What's going on there, YouTube? And welcome back to another comic book video. Alright, guys, so it's time for us to jump back into more Ultimate Marvel. And today, guys, we're going to cover Ultimate Spider-Man number 46. Now, guys, the reason why I'm covering this book by itself is because this is technically the prelude to Ultimate 6. Now, Ultimate 6 was the second crossover that Ultimate Marvel did back in the early years of Ultimate Marvel. Now, gotta remember, the first crossover was Ultimate War. Well, Ultimate 6 is kind of like Ultimate War. And what I mean is that you're gonna have Spider-Man teaming up with the Ultimates. And again, guys, in this universe, you don't have the Avengers, you have the Ultimates. And so Ultimates and Spider-Man are going to team up and take on this universe Sinister Six, but they go by the name Ultimate Six. And so, guys, like I said, this is just the prelude, but the next Ultimate Marvel video, we are going to cover Ultimate 6. But anyways, guys, let's go ahead and dive into Ultimate Spider-Man number 46. Now, guys, when it comes to Ultimate Spider-Man number 46, with this book right here, guys, this book takes place 2 months in the past. And what I mean is that, guys, let's jump back in time real quick. Now, guys, remember, back in Ultimate Spider-Man Volume 3, Spider-Man fought against Doc Ock and Kraven. Now, the thing is, though, guys, after Spider-Man defeated Doc Ock and Kraven, it seemed like he went back home to Aunt May's house. The thing is, though, you have Brian Michael Bendis saying, that's not true. There was a third super villain that Spider-Man had to fight. And guys, remember, back in Ultimate Spider-Man Volume 3, there was a character that we got briefly introduced, and we never saw him again until now. And so, guys, we pick up with a character named Sharon Carter. Now, guys, Sharon Carter is basically second in charge of S.H.I.E.L.D. after Nick Fury. And the thing is, though, back in Ultimate Spider-Man Volume 3, her mission was to capture Doc Ock. The problem was, though, when she finally got word where Doc Ock was, she saw on TV that Doc Ock was fighting against Spider-Man. And so now she felt like her job was on the line because Doc Ock was not supposed to be on live television like he was back in Volume 3. And so when she got there, though, Spider-Man had already defeated Doc Ock and Kraven. Now, Of course, you do have Sharon Carter kind of like, okay, you know what? I am going to take Doc Ock away and make sure that he does not get out. Matter of fact, we'll also make sure that Kraven does not get away also. Now, you do have Sharon Carter go inside the building that used to belong to Justin Hammer. Now, guys, remember, back in Ultimate Spider-Man Volume 3, Doc Ock was secretly working for Justin Hammer to basically sabotage Oscorp. But the thing is, though, after Doc Ock became Doc Ock, he got mad at Justin Hammer and said, it's your fault that I became Doc Ock. And so he started attacking Justin Hammer at Justin Hammer's buildings. Now, after, like I said, after Sharon Carter put Doc Ock and Kraven in handcuffs and locked them away, she basically went inside to Justin Hammer's building. And the thing is, though, she sees a bunch of scientists trying to hide something or someone. And the thing is, though, you have her saying, who's in there? What are you doing to him? What in the world is going on? And the thing is, though, when she walks into the room, she meets a man named Flint Marko. Now, guys, remember, in the main Marvel timeline, Flint Marko is who again? Sandman. And so, guys, we were briefly introduced to Ultimate Sandman back in Volume 3 for like a few panels. But the thing is, though, this is Brian Michael Bendis giving us a full introduction to Ultimate Sandman in the Ultimate Universe. And also, guys, this is Brian Michael Bendis saying, listen, this is going to be Sandman's first fight against Spider-Man, but also adding him to the roster for Ultimate 6. Now, the thing is, though, when Agent Carter goes inside the room to talk to Flint Marko looks out and says, this is my chance to get away. Like, this is my chance to get away. Now, Agent Carter, her partner, tells her, listen, Flint Marko, he has powers, but also come to find out that Flint Marko was a killer. And so Flint Marko says, I'm going to kill you guys and I'm going to escape and get out of here. And so Sandman starts to attack all the S.H.I.E.L.D. agents. Now, luckily for S.H.I.E.L.D. agents, Spider-Man did return back to give them a hand to fight against Sandman. And so you do have a few pages of Spider-Man fighting against Sandman. Now, this is Brian Michael Bendis saying, listen, he fought Doc Ock, he fought Kraven in Volume 3, but it seems like after he fought Kraven, he went back home to Aunt May house. But in reality, though, he had to come back and help out S.H.I.E.L.D. to fight against a third bad guy, which is Sandman. And so you have Spider-Man and S.H.I.E.L.D. fighting against Sandman to bring him down. Now, of course, this is a good guy kind of story, and so after a few pages of Sandman fighting against Spider-Man, they were able to defeat him. Now, to wrap up this video, because this is only a short video, you do have Agent Carter talking to somebody as they're, debriefing her after her mission of capturing Doc Ock, Sandman, and Kraven. And the thing is, though, she says, listen, I love working for S.H.I.E.L.D. I love my job, but I have to say this. We have a world problem right now where every day someone is popping up with powers. Every single day. I look up and there's a new mutant or somebody playing around with their genes and giving themselves powers. And so she's saying we should be out there capturing these people and killing them. Instead, you are basically capturing people, putting them down in some kind of basement jail, and basically you are testing them to see what you can do to reproduce them and make more of them, instead of trying to go ahead and kill them off. And that's a huge problem, because sooner or later, with you taking every single bad guy that Spider-Man or the X-Men or the Fantastic Four or even the Ultimates capture and they bring to you to lock away down here, this is only a bomb about to set off sooner or later. This is a huge time bomb. because sooner or later they are going to break out, and when they do, it's going to be hell on earth. And so guys, that wraps up Ultimate Spider-Man number 46. Now guys, like I said, this is a short video, and this was technically the prelude to Ultimate 6. And so the next video, we're gonna cover Ultimate 6 and then jump back over to the main Ultimate Spider-Man comic book line. But anyway guys, if you did like today's video, please leave me a like down below and also subscribe for more comic book stories in the near future. Also, any suggestions on books I should read, well, let me know in the comments below. You never know, your suggestion could be a future video down the road. But anyways guys, I'm out of here and I'll see you on the next comic book video. Later guys. What's going on there, YouTube, and welcome back to another comic book video. Alright guys, so it's time for us to jump back into more Ultimate Marvel, and today guys, we're gonna pick up with Ultimate 6. Now guys, we did take a small break between Ultimate Spider-Man number 46 and this storyline right here. And the reason why is because I kind of got tired covering Ultimate Marvel, and so I wanted to take a small break in the middle of Ultimate Marvel reading order. Now I might do this again down the road, but guys, don't worry, we are going to finish the whole Ultimate Marvel run. And so guys, let's go ahead and jump back into more Ultimate Marvel with Ultimate 6. Now guys, this is the storyline where we basically have Spider-Man teaming up with the Ultimates, and it's kind of like Ultimate War when the X-Men basically fought against Ultimates, except this time it's Spider-Man teaming up with the Ultimates. Now guys, remember, in this universe right here, the Ultimates are the Avengers in the Ultimate Marvel universe. But anyways guys, let's go ahead and dive into Ultimate 6, this crazy storyline. Now guys, when it comes to Ultimate 6 number 1, with this book right here, this is the book where Brian Michael Bendis kind of gives us some updated information on some of the characters we have not seen in a long time. Now guys, remember, when it came to Ultimate Spider-Man, when a bad guy first appeared, they first appeared and that'll be it. They'll appear in one storyline and we never saw them again, except the Green Goblin, because he appeared in Volume 1 and Volume 4. But like Doc Ock, Volume 3, never saw him again. Electro, Volume 2, we never saw him again. Kraven, Volume 3, we never saw him again. And so you have Brian Michael Bendis saying it's time for me to give you guys some updated information on some characters you have not seen in a long time. And the first person is Electro, because we have not seen him since Volume 2. And the thing is though guys, he was working for the Kingpin. Now the thing is though, in Volume 2, he got knocked out. And so what Brian Michael Bendis did was, he said in this first book that Electro, when he got knocked out, he stayed knocked out until this storyline right here. He's been out cold since Volume 2. He's been in a coma. And the thing is though, when he wakes up, he's in a hospital, handcuffed to a bed. And he looks around and he sees all these different SHIELD agents. They're all kind of like, hey man, listen, you've been asleep for a long time, but now you're awake. Listen, we have some questions for you, because we know that you were working for the Kingpin. Now, Electro has no idea that Kingpin is the most wanted man right now in America. That Kingpin's right now out of the country. He's trying to hide from SHIELD. And the thing is though, Electro is kind of like, listen, you guys are just basic SHIELD agents. And if you think that you're able to stop me, you're wrong. And so Electro uses his powers to escape the SHIELD agents in the hospital. The thing is though, as soon as he gets down the street, he gets attacked by the Ultimates. Because guys, there's now a new law. in the Ultimate Universe. If you are somebody with their genes being mutated and you get powers and you use your powers for evil, well, hey, you're under arrest. And you're under arrest by S.H.I.E.L.D. And you get locked up in the Triskelion prison. And the thing is though, guys, we do jump over to the Triskelion. Now guys, remember, the Triskelion is the base of the Ultimates in the Ultimate Universe. The thing is though, underneath the Triskelion is a prison that Nick Fury and S.H.I.E.L.D. made for anybody, again, whose genes are mutated and they use their newfound powers for evil. Well, you get locked up in here. And so of course, Spider-Man's bad guys are all locked up in here. Green Goblin, Doc Ock, Electro, and Sandman. They're all locked up in here. And the thing is though, guys, with us going to the Triskelion now in the storyline, we pick up with Hank Pym. Now, Hank Pym is of course part of the Ultimates team. The thing is though, Hank Pym right now, he's being a therapist for these 4 characters. He's trying to make them better people. He's kind of like, listen, you guys can turn your life around and do better things, but it all starts right here and right now. Now, of course, Norman Osborn, Electro, and Sandman, they're kind of like, dude, listen, no, we are who we are. We are killers, and we're going to stay killers, and we are not going to change our ways. Now, Doc Ock is kind of like, listen, I have changed my ways. I am a better person. I am trying to tell you guys that all I want to do is to be a man of science. All I want is a laboratory. I am tired of being locked up in this prison. It's Doc Ock saying, I am a good person now. I'm no longer that evil Dr. Octopus anymore. Now, the thing is though, guys, you're probably wondering, we only have 4 characters here, right? The storyline is called Ultimate 6. And we see Green Goblin, we see Doc Ock, we see Sandman, and we also see Electro. The thing is though, guys, we do jump over to Kraven. Now guys, remember, like I said, when it came to Ultimate 6 #1, Brian Michael Bendis is giving us updated information on characters. We now know Green Goblin, Sandman, Electro, and Doc Ock, they're locked up in the prison underneath the Triskelion. Kraven was the only person who did not get locked up. Now guys, remember, we haven't seen Kraven ever since the ending of Volume 3. The thing is though, guys, Kraven had a TV show, and his show started to suck. And so the way to save his show was to kill Spider-Man. The thing is though, guys, Kraven failed at killing Spider-Man. But the thing is though, guys, Kraven altered his genes to give him some kind of enhanced strength to fight against Spider-Man. And that is breaking the law. You basically changing your own genes to fight against a hero is against the law. And so of course, when Kraven is right now finishing up his interview, when he walks outside, you have the Ultimates right there. They're kind of like, hey man, listen, a few months ago, you tried to fight Spider-Man and you altered your genes. They mutated, and that is against the law. So hey buddy, you're under arrest. And that gives us 5 out of 6 characters for the Ultimate 6. Kraven, Doc Ock, Sandman, Electro, and the Green Goblin. We have 5 out of 6. And the thing is though, as we jump back to the Triskelion and you have some S.H.I.E.L.D. agents locking up Kraven, you kind of have Electro talking to Green Goblin. And you have Green Goblin saying, my plan is coming together. Soon all 6 of us will be here, and the 6th person will be here soon. And that wraps up Ultimate 6 #1, with us wondering who is the 6th member of the Ultimate 6. Now, guys, when it comes to Ultimate 6 number 2, with this book right here, guys, I have to say, in the opening pages, it does seem like Brian Michael Bendis is going to do the same thing he did in Ultimate 6 number 1. And what I mean is that in the last book, we saw the 5 members of the Ultimate 6 having a therapy session. But in this book right here, it does not go like that. Instead, you have them having a therapy session once again, but you have Hank Pym showing Norman Osborn footage of him being the Green Goblin fighting against Spider-Man. And the thing is though, you have Hank Pym ask Norman Osborn, how does it feel to watch a video of you being some kind of monster attacking a poor child, a poor kid? And the thing is though, you have Norman Osborn say, listen, let's get real quick. You're not here to ask me how I feel or try to make me a better person. You're here because you want the Oz formula. You want the Oz formula from me because you want to recreate the Oz formula. Now, you have Hank Pym tell Norman Osborn, listen man, we don't want the Oz formula because we already have it. When you were arrested, Nick Fury took every single thing you owned, including the Oz formula. So the formula that you think that you made because it made you, Doc Ock, and Spider-Man that cannot be recreated once again, we already did that. We have the Oz formula. The reason why you're still here is because you are a menace to the city. You turn yourself into some kind of monster. A monster that we cannot have out there in New York. That's why you're here right now. Now, as soon as Hank Pym said that to Norman Osborn tries to turn into the Green Goblin and he tries to attack Hank Pym. The thing is though, before Norman Osborn is able to go full on Goblin, you have Hank Pym turn into Giant Man and he shuts down Norman Osborn. He just says, no, you are not going to be the Green Goblin today. Now, we do jump over to the cells of the Sinister Five right now because there's only 5 members. Now, as you have each member in their own cell, you do have Doc Ock say, listen, I am ready to talk to Hank Pym. I am ready to basically turn myself into a good person. Now, we do jump over to Nick Fury in the Ultimates. Now, guys, this part of the book right here, this is just Nick Fury kind of telling the Ultimates who are the Ultimate 5 right now. Like, he's basically breaking down footage of each and every single character. Norman Osborn, Doc Ock, Electro, Kraven. He's kind of like, listen guys, even though these guys may seem like they're C-list, villains, these guys are possible huge threats to attack us down the road. And so I want you guys to know information about these different characters. Now, while Nick Fury is talking to the Ultimates, down below, Hank Pym is letting Doc Ock have his own laboratory because Doc Ock is telling Hank Pym everything he wants to hear. That Hank Pym therapy sessions have been working. That he is ready to be a good citizen. He's a good man now. All he wants to do now is just make different science experiments work. That's all he wants to do. And so Hank Pym gave Dr. Octopus his own laboratory and his own staff. And the thing is though, when they walk into the room, they see Dr. Octopus' arms on the table. They're kind of like, listen, we all know that you can control your arms while you're, apart from them. The thing is though, Doc Ock can still control his arms even though they're not a part of his body right now. And so while we're looking at Doc Ock talking about his arms, he's killing every single scientist in that room. He killed every single scientist. And to wrap up issue number 2 of Ultimate 6, Doc Ock was able to turn off the power to each and every single cell. that was holding a different Spider-Man villain. Electro, Kraven, Doc Ock, sorry, not Doc Ock, Green Goblin, Sandman. He was able to turn every single one of them off. And you have Norman Osborn say, it's time for me to attack. And blows up part of the prison, which is right now underneath the Triskelion. Now guys, when it comes to Ultimate 6 number 3, with this book right here guys, this is the book where Brian Michael Bendis doesn't do a lot in this book, but it's still a good build up for what to come down the road. Now, we do pick up with Iron Man and Wasp arriving at the prison that they were holding Spider-Man bad guys at. The thing is though, when Iron Man goes in first and he's walking through the prison, all he sees is the prison being completely wrecked. But the thing is though, that also means Norman Osborn, Sandman, Electro, Kraven, and Doc Ock, they're all gone. They are not there in the prison at all. They have left the prison hours ago. You know, it's kind of like, where in the world are the bad guys at? Now the thing is though, Tony Stark finds 3 people alive. And so when he finds these 3 people alive, he's kind of like, Nick, how many people did you have here to guard these crazy men? And you have Nick Fury say, I had 38 SHIELD agents there to guard that prison. And now you're telling me only 3 survived. And you have Tony Stark say, yes, only 3 is alive. Now, we do jump over to Nick Fury. And the thing is though, guys, Nick Fury's all like, okay, listen, we have to find them now. We have to find them because we have 5 high-level threats right now in New York. And these high-level threats, they can make me lose my job, but also they can kill hundreds of people. We have to find them now. Now the thing is though, you have the Ultimates asking Nick Fury, where are they going? Do you know their game plan? What are they going to do? And you have Nick Fury say, they are gonna go after the boy, Peter Parker. Now guys, this is our first appearance of Peter Parker in this storyline. He wasn't in part 1 and part 2. So his first appearance is in this book right here. And the thing is though, Peter Parker is at Midtown High. He's in class right now with his girlfriend Mary Jane. But out of nowhere, you have some kind of, principal call Peter Parker out in the hallway and tell Peter Parker, listen, I am not your, assistant principal or whatever. I'm actually working for SHIELD and I'm here to get you out of here. We gotta go because Norman Osborn is out. Norman Osborn is out. We gotta go. And so you got Peter Parker basically right now in SHIELD protection at the Triskelion. Now, when Peter gets there, he asks Nick Fury all the questions like, are you sure that Norman Osborn is out? Are you sure Doc Ock is out? Electro, Sandman, Kraven? And you have Nick Fury say, yes, they are all out. All of them are out there right now. And you have Peter kind of like, do you know they are? No. You have Peter ask, please tell me you have your best men right now guarding Aunt May, guarding Mary Jane, guarding Gwen Stacy. You better tell me you're your best agents out there. You have Nick Fury say, I do. But Peter's all like, you lying to me right now because all your best men are right here. Cap, Iron Man, Thor, Black Widow, Hawkeye, Wasp, your Ultimates are right here. I want your Ultimates guarding my family, and I'll go after Nick. I'll go after Norman Osborn. And you have Nick say, no, you are going to stay here. You are going to stay here and wait until we are able to capture Norman Osborn. Now, to wrap up number 3, we do go over to the White House. And the thing is though, we get introduced to a character named Mr. Stone. And the thing is though, Mr. Stone gets a phone call from Norman Osborn. And the thing is though, guys, we don't know what Norman Osborn told Mr. Stone. But the thing is though, as soon as the phone calls ends, Mr. Stone walks into the Oval Office and he say, "Mr. President, we have a problem with Nick Fury." Now guys, when it comes to Ultimate 6 number 4, we do backtrack just a couple hours before the ending of Ultimate 6 number 3. And what I mean is that guys, we do pick up with the bad guys, the Ultimate 5, right now hanging out at one of the Kingpin's old mansions. Now guys, remember, the Kingpin is no longer in America right now because the Kingpin is the most wanted man in America. And so you have the Ultimate 5 using the old base of the Kingpin for right now, just temporarily, so they can plan their next move. Now, the thing is though, you have Doc Ock say, "Listen, Norman, you have to make your phone call now. Make your phone call now so we can move on with our plans." And so guys, we jump back to the present day. That phone call that Doc Ock was talking about is the same phone call we saw Norman Osborn make at the end of Ultimate 6 number 3. And so now we pick up with Nick Fury talking to the president. And the thing is though, you have the president say, "Listen, Mr. Stone, my chief of staff got a phone call from Norman Osborn. And now I come to find out that Norman Osborn is basically asking for a lot of different things. Because right now he's telling me that you stole his company, you kidnapped his son, and you locked him away in some kind of prison." I'm hearing all these different things from Norman Osborn, somebody who is well known in this world as one of the best scientists in this country. And now he called my chief of staff and he told me all those things. Nick, listen to me. I have been very relaxed with you. I have been very lenient with you, letting you do whatever you need to protect our country. But the thing is though, it seems like even though you break almost every single dang rule, somehow, when you think you're okay, it comes back to bite us in the butt. And so here we are now with Norman Osborn basically demanding me to arrest you, give back his company, give back his son, and all the money you took from him. Now, you have Nick Fury say, "Listen, I am going to handle this. I am going to find Norman and lock him away. You do not have to worry at all. I am going to basically get Norman back in jail." Now, we do jump back over to the Ultimate 5. And the thing is though, you have the Ultimate 5 come together and talk to one another. And you have Norman Osborn say, "Listen, you guys have two options now. You can, one, go out there by yourselves and try to live a normal life. But the thing is though, remember, Nick Fury and his Ultimates, they will always be hunting you down. But if you work with me, we'll be able to get rid of Nick Fury, get rid of S.H.I.E.L.D., and get our old lives back. But you have to work with me." And you have every single Ultimate 5 member, Doc Ock, Sandman, Kraven, Electro, they all agree with Norman Osborn saying, "Yes, we will work with you." Now, the thing is though, you have Norman Osborn tell Kraven, "Listen, I kind of told S.H.I.E.L.D. that we are going to use your old production center, Kraven." And so with Nick Fury hearing those words from Norman Osborn, he goes back to the old production station of Kraven, where his show was basically being run at and everything. And when they get there, when S.H.I.E.L.D. gets there, the Ultimate 5 are not there. The bad guys are not there. It was a way to distract Nick Fury and S.H.I.E.L.D. just temporarily for Doc Ock to basically finish what he's trying to finish. And so we do jump back over to the Triskelion, and we come to find out what Doc Ock was planning. Doc Ock was waiting for the right time to hack into the Triskelion base to shut down all their security systems so Electro, Sandman, and Norman Osborn are able to break through the Triskelion to get inside, to get the one person they want to get, who was just picked up in the last issue for protection. Norman Osborn's sixth member, the person he wants so bad, is Peter Parker Spider-Man. And Doc Ock bringing all the shields down at the Triskelion and keeping the Ultimates at bay. Green Goblin was able to grab Peter Parker. Now guys, when it comes to Ultimate 6 number 5, we do pick up with Black Widow right now, where 2 S.H.I.E.L.D. agents going to pick up Aunt May. And the reason why is because Nick Fury is scared right now. Nick Fury is scared because Doc Ock hacked into the Triskelion. Norman Osborn, Electro, and Sandman were able to break into the Triskelion to kidnap Peter Parker. And so you have Nick Fury say, I have no choice. We have to get every single person that is close to Peter Parker. Aunt May, Mary Jane, Gwen Stacy, so on and so on. We have to get everybody he is close to back here in our protection, because Norman Osborn is a crazy man. Now, we do jump over to Peter Parker, who's right now being held hostage by the Ultimate 5. Norman Osborn, Doc Ock, Electro, Kraven, Sandman, they're holding him hostage. And the thing is though, you have Norman Osborn kind of talk to Peter like Peter Parker is his son. He's kind of like, listen Peter, you're my pride and joy. You are the best thing to ever happen to me. Thanks to you, I can do whatever I want. And the thing is, my son, you are going to help me to bring down Nick Fury, S.H.I.E.L.D., and the White House. You are going to help me out. Now for Peter's kind of like, dude, yes, your spider bit me, but I don't belong to you. You don't own me. Okay, yes, I got bit by your spider. Yes, it gave me powers, but that does not mean that you owe me. And so you have Peter kind of like break out of his restraints and he say, listen, I'm leaving. If you try to stop me, I am going to beat every single one of you guys up. The thing is though, Norman Osborn, he tells Peter, listen, you can try to run, you can try to leave, but I'm going to tell you right now, if you do leave, I am going to kill your aunt, Mary Jane, Gwen Stacy, and so on and so on. I will kill every single person close to you. Do you understand that today you are going to work for me and help me bring down Nick Fury? And Peter has no choice to say yes, because he's afraid that Norman Osborn will kill the people he is actually close to. Now, we do jump over to Captain America and Nick Fury. And the thing is though, guys, you have Captain America kind of talk to Nick. And he say, listen, Nick, I've been back for like a year or two now. And I realized something. That every problem the Ultimates have to take care of is because of you. It's all your fault, because you tried so hard to recreate the super soldier serum to get another Captain America. Look around you. This is all your fault. And this right here is another example. I mean, the first example was the Hulk, because you hired Bruce Banner to find a way to recreate the super soldier serum. And guys, we saw that in the Ultimates Volume 1. And so you have Steve Rogers say, listen, man, this is your fault again, because you also hired Norman Osborn to recreate basically the super soldier serum. But the thing is though, he made the Oz formula. All this is your fault because you hired Bruce Banner, you hired Norman Osborn. what other ideas you have out there that's going to bite us in the butt. And so while Nick Fury and Steve Rogers are arguing with one another, we do jump over to the White House. And the thing is though, at the White House, you do have the chief of staff get a phone call from somebody. And that phone call is Norman Osborn. Now guys, Norman Osborn is once again asking the president to say, listen, I need you to go ahead and give me what I want. My company, my son, my life back. I want Nick Fury arrested. Give me every single thing I want back. And the thing is though, you have the chief of staff tell Norman Osborn, maybe it's better if we have a sit down and talk to each other face to face. And as soon as he says that, Norman Osborn and the Ultimate Five just attack the White House. He attacks the White House and kills every single SHIELD agent there. And basically, Norman Osborn has Spider-Man right there next to him. And this is Norman Osborn saying, we are the Ultimate Six. Me, Doc Ock, Sandman, Electro, Kraven, and Peter Parker, aka Spider-Man. We are the Ultimate Six, and we are here to bring down the White House. Now guys, when it comes to Ultimate Six, number 6, with this book right here guys, not a lot of things happen in this book. And what I mean is that you do have the Ultimates arrive, and they're kind of like, listen, even though you killed every single SHIELD agent we had here guarding the White House, you are not going to get to the president. So right now, you are trespassing. And so you kind of have the Ultimates fighting against the Ultimate Six. Now, Peter Parker is not really fighting. He's kind of like just there. Because again, Norman Osborn told Peter if he tries to betray him, if he tries to defeat him, and he tries to do anything to get Norman Osborn back into jail, well, Norman Osborn will kill Peter Parker, will kill Aunt May, will kill Mary Jane, will kill Gwen Stacy. And so right now, you have Peter just watching the Ultimates fight against the Ultimate Six. It's going back and forth, back and forth. But the thing is though, the Ultimates are winning. The Ultimates are taking down each member of the Ultimate Five piece by piece. They're taking each one down piece by piece. Kraven gone, Doc Ock gone, Sandman gone. They're taking them down piece by piece. The thing is though, when it comes down to Norman Osborn and Captain America, and they're fighting one another, and they're saying some very insulting things to one another, you do have Nick Fury use his last plan to finally bring down Norman Osborn. And the last plan that Nick Fury has to bring down Norman Osborn is to bring out Harry Osborn, the son of Norman Osborn, and say, Father, what are you doing? And instantly it stops Norman Osborn in his tracks, and he looks back at his son, Harry Osborn. Now guys, when it comes to Ultimate Six number 7, with this book right here, it basically gets wrapped up very easily. And what I mean is that you do have Brian Michael Bendis play with the idea of Harry Osborn talking to his father, hoping that his father will calm down and stop going on a rampage and trying to kill every single person there and just turn back into a human being. The thing is though, Harry Osborn's plan is working. He is turning into a regular person. The thing is though, Iron Man sees this as a opportunity to knock out Norman Osborn. And so you have Iron Man just take one clear shot right when Norman Osborn is turning back into his human form. The thing is though, it doesn't knock out Norman at all. Instead, it just makes Norman Osborn even angrier, and he tries to kill every single person there except Spider-Man and his son Harry. Now of course, you do have the Ultimates able to knock out Norman Osborn, which does turn him back into his regular human form. Now, you do have Ultimates, move in and they get all the bodies out of the way, get all the bad guys locked up again and everything. But before we jump over to Peter Parker and Aunt May talking, you do have Peter Parker try to talk to his best friend, Harry Osborn. The thing is though, Harry Osborn is mad at every single person there. Peter Parker, Nick Fury, S.H.I.E.L.D., the Ultimates, so on and so on. If you were there and you were involved for his father turning into the Green Goblin, he believes that you guys are the bad guys, not his father. And so he tells Peter, I am going to kill all of you one day. And you have Nick Fury just take Harry Osborn away from Peter Parker. Now, of course, you do have Nick Fury getting Peter Parker and Aunt May back together again. They're all kind of like, oh my God, I miss you. I can't believe we both got picked up by S.H.I.E.L.D. What is going on? At this point in Ultimate Spider-Man, she has no clue that he is Spider-Man. And so, you have Peter kind of like, I don't know, Norman Osborn broke out. He's trying to kill us probably. Let's just go home, because S.H.I.E.L.D. was able to capture him and put him back away again. And so that kind of wraps up Ultimate 6, the storyline. Now, we do jump back over to the main Ultimate Spider-Man storyline. Only problem is though, I'm pretty sure that there's not a story after this in the Ultimate Spider-Man run that really referenced this moment at all. So it's kind of weird, because this storyline is a cool storyline to me. It's a little good crossover, but honestly, I don't see other stories after this reference this moment at all. But anyways, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap up today's video. Please hit that like and subscribe down below for more comic book stories in the near future. Also, if you have any ideas or storylines you want me to cover, let me know in the comments below. But anyways, guys, I'm out of here, and I'll see you on the next comic book video. Later, guys. What's going on there, YouTube, and welcome back to another comic book video. Alright guys, so we are going to jump back into more Ultimate Marvel, and today guys, we're going to pick up with Ultimate Spider-Man. Now, before we dive into today's video, I do want to mention one thing real quick. So guys, for the past I want to say day or two possibly, I've been getting a lot of comments on when am I going to cover Ultimate Fantastic Four Volume 2. Now guys, the reason why we have not covered Ultimate Fantastic Four number 2 is because in the reading order, they fall down very deep in the reading order. Now, the good thing is though guys, we only have to cover a few more stories before we jump back into more Ultimate Fantastic Four. Now guys, remember, when Ultimate Marvel launched back in the year 2000, all we had was Spider-Man. Then we got X-Men, then we got Ultimates, and then we got a few miniseries here and there. But the thing is though, Marvel did not release Ultimate Fantastic Four, I want to say 4 or 5 years after the beginning launch of Ultimate Marvel. And so that's why we have not really seen Volume 2 of Ultimate Fantastic Four, because their series was launched 4 or 5 years after Spider-Man and X-Men were launched. And so that's why they're so deep in the reading order of Ultimate Marvel. But guys, don't worry, we're going to cover Volume 2 once we get there. Now, guys, let's go ahead and dive into Ultimate Spider-Man. And guys, this story right here, we do see the return of the Kingpin. Now guys, when it comes to Ultimate Spider-Man number 47, with this book right here, guys, we do pick up with Peter Parker right now in his Spider-Man outfit. And the thing is though guys, Peter Parker is just going around New York looking for some trouble. Now the thing is though guys, he's not finding anything bad happening in New York. But the thing is though, when he thinks about going home, he does hear a gunshot. And so Peter's kind of like, okay, it's time for me to be Spider-Man and go investigate what that gunshot was. Who's in the world is firing a gun in the middle of New York. Now, Peter does arrive at a warehouse. And the thing is though, when he arrives at this warehouse, he does see that the enforcers are back in town. Now guys, we have not seen the enforcers since like volume 2 of Ultimate Spider-Man. And guys, the last time we saw the enforcers, they were working for the Kingpin alongside with Electro. But the thing is though, when the Kingpin ran out of the country because basically he's now wanted for murder, Electro and the enforcers, well, they went to jail. And so while Peter Parker is fighting against the enforcers, he's kind of wondering like, how did you guys get out of jail? Because you guys got locked up because you guys were working for the Kingpin. You guys should not be here right now. You guys should be locked up in prison. Now, guys, the last time we saw the enforcers fight against Spider-Man, they were able to defeat him. But this time, Peter Parker was able to defeat the enforcers because he's now a seasoned hero. He fought against the Green Goblin, Doc Ock, Electro, Kraven, Sandman. You know, he fought against a lot of different supervillains. And so right now, he's a seasoned hero. He knows how to fight the enforcers and go ahead and handle his business. Now, he does defeat them and he does leave them there for the cops to once again arrest them. The thing is though, guys, we jump over to the next day and we jump over to the office of the Kingpin and Walter Dini. Now guys, Walter Dini is the lawyer of the Kingpin. So basically he handles all the legal issues for the Kingpin. But the thing is though, you have the enforcers talking to the Kingpin and Walter Dini like, what happened last night? We gave y'all a simple mission to go after a guy and get the money he owns the Kingpin. But you have one of the enforcers tell the Kingpin, listen man, it was that Spider-Man person. He reappeared and he basically defeat us once again. Now, you do have Kingpin get very angry towards the enforcers. And he's kind of like, are you serious right now? We heard what happened. We heard that you fired a gun in the middle of New York. Almost any superhero could have heard that. So don't just blame Spider-Man for you being an idiot. Blame yourself. And so you do have Kingpin ask the enforcers to leave the room. Now, once they leave though, you do have Kingpin talk to Walter Dini. And he's kind of like, I'm tired of this kid. I'm tired of Spider-Man. He's basically costing me so much money right now. We have to get rid of him. And so you do have Walter Dini kind of tell Kingpin, listen, I know somebody who is running for office right now, for the mayor's office, and he could be able to get rid of our Spider-Man problem. Now, we do jump over to the Daily Bugle. And the thing is though, guys, we have the staff of the Daily Bugle right now watching a commercial about a man named Sam Bullock who is running for the mayor's office. Now, if you are a classic Spider-Man fan, I'm talking about 1970s, 1980s Spider-Man, you know who Sam Bullock is. He was the man who was basically trying to outlaw superheroes in New York back in the classic Spider-Man stories. And so once again, guys, he's in the Ultimate Marvel doing the same thing. He is trying to basically outlaw superheroes in New York, starting with Spider-Man, like he did in the main Marvel timeline. But the thing is though, the Daily Bugle is kind of like sponsoring him. Commercials, newspapers, online articles, they are sponsoring this man saying, you guys should vote for Sam Bullock. Now, guys, we do jump forward one day and we do jump back over to the Daily Bugle. And the thing is though, guys, you do have Spider-Man sit down at his computer. And the thing is though, when he turns his computer on, well, he sees an online article that just got published by the Daily Bugle. And it says the Kingpin has been cleared. All the charges have been dropped, which means the Kingpin is an innocent man. He is no longer wanted for murder. And you have Peter Parker kind of like, what the heck? Because Peter Parker helped Ben Urich basically tell the world that the Kingpin is a murderer. Like, it was up to Spider-Man and Ben Urich that got the Kingpin caught. But the thing is though, now it seems like no matter what Spider-Man does, no matter what Ben Urich does to tell the world that the Kingpin is not a good person, well, the world believes he's innocent because his charges just got dropped. He's an innocent man, and Peter can't believe it. And so you have Peter kind of want to leave the Daily Bugle, but once he's about to leave, you do have J. Jonah Jameson and Robbie kind of argue with one another. And with them arguing with one another, well, you have Peter kind of like, JJ, why are you, helping out with this? First Sam Bullock and now the Kingpin, you're basically sponsoring two bad people right now. And you have JJ just snap at Peter, kind of like, this is not a playground. You know what? You are fired. And basically, JJ just fired Peter Parker for asking a question for guidance on why in the world the Kingpin was able to be a free man. Now guys, when it comes to Ultimate Spider-Man number 48, with this book right here guys, we do pick up with Peter Parker kind of gathering his last few things he owns at the Daily Bugle because, well, he got fired. And so you do have Peter Parker walk into JJ's office. Now, with Peter Parker walking into JJ's office, is Peter Parker kind of like, hey JJ, listen, those things on your desk, they belong to me, so I'm gonna go ahead and take those things. Now, as soon as Peter Parker is able to gather the last few things he owns at the Daily Bugle, you do have JJ kind of like talk more smack towards Peter Parker. And so with JJ talking more smack towards Peter Parker, well, Peter Parker snaps back at JJ. He's kind of like, dude, you're being childish. You got mad at me for asking you a question. All I asked you was, why are we sponsoring the Kingpin? Why are we sponsoring Sam Bullock? Why are you so happy that the charges they had on the Kingpin got dropped? The Kingpin is a murderer. And so you have Peter Parker kind of like, listen, me as a teenager was just asking you a question, but for some strange reason, you couldn't handle that. And so you basically snapped back at me for asking you a question. So no, dude, you are a total jerk. And so Peter leaves the Daily Bugle on a high note. Now, you do have Peter Parker put on his Spider-Man outfit. And the thing is though, Peter thinks that with him being Spider-Man now, he can go after the Kingpin by himself. The thing is though, when Peter web slings towards the Kingpin's office and he tries to break through the window, well, the Kingpin put up new windows that are basically unbreakable. And so Peter Parker, he just bounces off the window. And the Kingpin, his staff, they're like laughing at him. They're like, dude, you are not going to smack through this window to come and get me. Nuh-uh, not today. Today, I win. You can go home as a loser. Now, we do jump over to the next day, and we do pick up with Peter Parker at Midtown High. Now, the thing is though, with Peter Parker being at Midtown High, is Peter Parker's teacher kind of trying to get the class in an activity, trying to get them involved in a huge discussion. And so Peter's kind of like, hey, since we're having this big school discussion, can't we talk about the Kingpin able to be a free man? because it's not fair. We all know that he is a murderer, that he murdered somebody. And so you have the teacher kind of like, yes, he did, but the charges did get dropped. And so you have Peter kind of like, but why? Do you believe our system is actually a good system? And she says, no. I do believe our system does have some flaws, but I believe because the Kingpin has done more good than bad in New York, the charges got dropped for that reason right there. And so you kind of have the teacher kind of like, listen, it's time for us to go ahead and end class today. But you have Peter kind of snap back at her like, no, we're not done here. I want to keep talking about this because it's not fair that this man was able to become a free man after what he did. He murdered somebody. He should not be a free man at all. And so you kind of have the teacher kind of like get mad at Peter for snapping at her in her own classroom, and she sends him to the office. Now, we do jump forward to Peter Parker at Aunt May's job, and Peter's kind of telling Aunt May everything that happened with JJ, with his teacher, just going through everything that happened to him in the past like 24 hours. And so you kind of have Aunt May say, Peter, the reason why you're snapping at JJ, you're snapping at your teacher, because you're mad because the Kingpin got out, because the charges for murder got dropped. The reason why you're mad about all of this is because you're afraid the person who shot your Uncle Ben is going to become a free man. You're afraid he'll be just like the Kingpin, get away with murder. And nephew, that is not going to happen. Yes, I can understand why you're mad at Kingpin and your teacher and JJ. But the thing is, you're mad because you're afraid that the person who shot Uncle Ben might be free, just like the Kingpin was free earlier in this storyline. And so you kind of have Aunt May reassure Peter that the person who shot Uncle Ben is never going to get out. He's locked away for life. He is never going to get out of prison. Now, to wrap up Ultimate Spider-Man number 48, we do jump back over to Ben Urich. And the thing is though, guys, Ben Urich is having an interview one-on-one with Sam Bullock, the guy who's trying to outlaw superheroes in New York. And so at first, this interview is going normal. It's like going back and forth at a normal pace. There's no arguments. No one's mad at the other person. Everything is right now a normal interview, a normal one-on-one interview. The thing is, though, you kind of have Ben Urich look at the wall, and he's kind of like, hey, that is a nice photo of you, the Kingpin, and the Kingpin's lawyer, Walter Dini. So are you basically working alongside with the Kingpin? And so you kind of have Sam Bullock get mad at Ben Urich because now Ben Urich has kind of unlocked a secret that the Kingpin, Sam Bullock, they're secretly working together. We don't know how they're working together, but somehow the Kingpin and the Kingpin and Sam Bullock, they are working together, and basically Sam Bullock was probably the person who got the Kingpin out of those murder charges. And the Kingpin is probably funding Sam Bullock's run for the mayor's office. Now, we do jump back over to the Daily Bugle, and you kind of have Ben Urich tell JJ everything he learned. He's like, listen, man, the Kingpin and Sam Bullock, they're in bed together. Their offices work together. They are helping one another out. This is not good, man. The Kingpin's a well-known murderer. No matter what those articles say that his charges got dropped, he is a murderer, and he's helping Sam Bullock out to outlaw superheroes because the Kingpin does not want superheroes around him. The Kingpin's a bad man. And at first, you kind of have JJ kind of like, man, I don't know. have a small talk. And guys, this is Brian Michael Bendis answering a question that I'm pretty sure some of you guys out there were wondering. What happened to the son of J. Jonah Jameson? Now guys, remember, in the main Marvel timeline, JJ has a son, John Jameson. But the thing is though, John Jameson in this universe, he died. Guys, remember, in the main Marvel timeline, JJ's son is an astronaut. But in this universe, he was an astronaut. He died because his rocket blew up even before it actually left Earth because it had a malfunction. And so you have JJ say, listen, almost every single year around this time, the day my son died, the anniversary of my death of my son, I kind of go crazy. I kind of overreact over things. I kind of say things I should not be saying because I keep sitting down and thinking about my son. But what makes things worse is I see people like Spider-Man in an outfit just going around trying to be a hero. That's not a hero to me personally. A hero to me is an astronaut, a firefighter, a policeman, and a paramedic, but not a guy in a crazy little outfit just going around beating up random people. That is not a superhero. But after tonight, after Spider-Man saved my life from the Enforcers, I realized something. That maybe, just maybe, Spider-Man is not a bad person. And you kind of have JJ tell Peter, you have your job back. You can come back and work at the Daily Bugle. Now, we do jump over to the Kingpin having dinner. And the thing is though, you do have Spider-Man kind of wrestling to the Kingpin's table at this random restaurant that's on a rooftop, I guess, whatever. Anyways, you do have Peter Parker wrestling into the restaurant and kind of talk to the Kingpin. And he tells the Kingpin, listen, I'm coming after you. I'm going to get you. And when I do get you, I'm going to make sure that this time you are not able to get back out of prison. But I'm coming after you. And so guys, that wraps up today's video. Guys, we're going to cover the rest of Volume 8 of Ultimate Spider-Man in the next Ultimate Spider-Man video. But guys, we have to jump back over to Ultimate X-Men and cover Ultimate X-Men New Mutants. But anyways guys, like I said, I'm gonna go ahead and end today's video. Please leave me a like down below and also subscribe for more comic book stories in the near future. Also, any suggestions on books I should read, let me know in the comments below. But anyways guys, I'm out of here and I'll see you in the next comic book video. Later guys. What's going on there YouTube, and welcome to Fresh Comic Stories. Guys, this is the channel where we basically sit down and cover different kinds of comic book stories. Now guys, today we are going to continue our coverage over Ultimate Marvel. And guys, we once again pick up with Ultimate Spider-Man. Now guys, this is the storyline where basically we get introduced to Black Cat, but also we get reintroduced to Elektra in the Ultimate Marvel universe. Now guys, this could mean some trouble for Spider-Man because now he has two lovely ladies, but these lovely ladies are actually dangerous lovely ladies. That sounded better in my head. But anyways guys, let's go ahead and dive into the storyline where we get introduced to Ultimate Black Cat in the Ultimate Marvel universe. I do hope you enjoy. Now guys, when it comes to Ultimate Spider-Man, the introduction of Black Cat, when it comes to this storyline right here guys, right off the bat, we are introduced to Black Cat. And what I mean is that guys, in the opening pages, we are watching Black Cat just basically break into a building. Now, with her trying to break into a building, it is her showing us she has the same skills, the same abilities as her main Marvel timeline counterpart. Now, guys, this is her also telling us in this book that she is basically a thief. Just like her main Marvel timeline counterpart, she is a thief, and she has been hired by someone to break into this building to steal a certain object. Now, the thing is, though, guys, we do come to find out what the object she is trying to steal. It is some kind of tablet. Now, for right now, we have no idea what is so special about this tablet. But the thing is, though, guys, she went through a lot just to get this tablet. Now, the thing is, though, guys, as soon as she gets outside to basically get away from this building, she is stopped by Spider-Man. Now, guys, of course, like most men who sees a young lady who looks very beautiful in a very tight outfit, like Peter Parker here, he kind of gets a little speechless. Like he wants to stop her before she gets away and say some kind of corny joke, but when he sees her, he's kind of like, oh, she's kind of cute. I really want her number, but she's a bad guy, so I have to stop her. And so you do have Peter Parker try to stop Black Cat. The thing is, though, guys, Black Cat is able to get away from Peter Parker very easily. Just like that, she stole the tablet and she got away from Spider-Man. Now, we do jump over to the home of the Parkers. Now, guys, this part right here may not seem very important, but actually, guys, this is Brian Michael Bendis kind of giving us a break from the Spider-Man life. And what I mean is that focusing more on Peter Parker and Mary Jane. Because while Peter Parker and Mary Jane are in Peter Parker's room in the basement, and they're kind of having their usual couple time, like hanging out, making out, all that stuff and everything, you do have Aunt May call Peter Parker and Mary Jane up to the main floor of the Parker home. And the thing is, though, when they come out of the basement, they see that Mary Jane's father is in the home of the Parkers. Now, this is our first appearance of Mary Jane's father in the Ultimate Universe. Now, also, guys, just give you a quick brief information about Mary Jane's father. Mary Jane and her father, they do not get along at all. Matter of fact, we touched on that in an earlier Ultimate Spider-Man video, that Mary Jane believes that her father is cheating on her mother. The thing is, though, as soon as Peter Parker and Mary Jane walk into the room, they see that basically Mary Jane's father has the diary of Mary Jane. And the thing is, though, guys, she wrote in her diary about what happened to her in an earlier video where the Green Goblin basically grabbed her and threw her off a bridge. But in her diary, she says, I am lucky that Peter Parker saved my life. And so with that right there being written in her diary, you kind of have her father wondering what in the world is his daughter and her boyfriend doing at night, that she had possibly could have died wasn't thanks for Peter Parker saving her life. Now, the thing is, though, you do have Mary Jane's father tell Peter Parker and Mary Jane that they can no longer be a couple because he's afraid for his daughter's life. Now, again, though, guys, Mary Jane and her father, they do not get along at all. Matter of fact, she hates her father. Now, you do have Mary Jane and her dad run out of the Parker home. And you do have Aunt May kind of tell Peter Parker it's going to be okay. He's crazy. I need to go over there and make sure that he does not do any harm to her. And so when Aunt May leaves the house, you do have Peter turn on the TV. And when he turns on the TV, the news channels are now telling the people of New York that basically Spider-Man has teamed up with a new bad guy in New York, and her name is Black Cat. And that Spider-Man and Black Cat has just robbed a random building. Now guys, we do jump back over to the office building where basically Black Cat stole the tablet from. Now the thing is though guys, we do get introduced to a new character named Mr. Moore. Now guys, this character right here is not important at all. Matter of fact guys, I'm pretty sure he only appears in this book right here and that's it. We do not see Mr. Moore ever again in Marvel Comics or Ultimate Marvel Comics. Now the thing is though guys, we do come to find out that Mr. Moore was hired by the Kingpin. And the reason why I say that is because we also see Mr. Deeney in the same office with Mr. Moore. Now guys, remember, Mr. Deeney was hired by the Kingpin because Mr. Deeney is Mr. Kingpin's lawyer. Now, the thing is though, you do have Mr. Deeney kind of tell Mr. Moore, you need to get that tablet back because you promised the Kingpin that you will get the tablet for him. And so you have Mr. Deeney tell Mr. Moore, here is a phone number. You are going to call this person and you are going to tell that person that you are going to pay them well to get the tablet back for the Kingpin. Now, we do jump over to Midtown High and we do pick up with Peter Parker right now asleep in class. Now guys, just like any teacher who sees a student in their classroom asleep, she does get mad. She wakes up Peter Parker and tells him that he now has Saturday detention. Now, we do jump forward to Peter Parker right now just going to gather books out of his locker for his next class. Now guys, this is Brian Michael Bendis giving us another relationship problem between Mary Jane and Peter Parker. And what I mean is that guys, you do have Peter Parker get word from Mary Jane that basically Mary Jane's father is going to pull her out of school. After reading her diary, Mary Jane's father is going to pull Mary Jane out of school and send her to an all-girls school. And so this right here does basically begin a fight between Peter Parker and Mary Jane. And of course, Mary Jane does run away from the fight. Now, we do jump forward to the Daily Bugle. Now guys, you do have Peter Parker right now kind of helping out Robbie with the mail the Daily Bugle receives every day. And the thing is though, one of the letters they receive from the public of New York is a letter full of money. And the thing is though guys, you do have Robbie tell Peter that sometimes people will send in letters hoping to get it published in their newspaper. And that person will sometimes send money hoping that basically with the money sent, it will be enough money to have Daily Bugle publish their article in their newspaper. Now the thing is though, you do have Peter Parker read the letter that had money inside of it. And the thing is though, it's a letter from the Black Cat saying that, hey, listen, Spider-Man, if you're reading this article in the Daily Bugle newspaper, please meet me so-and-so here. And so you do have Peter Parker kind of like, this is Black Cat. Black Cat is basically asking for Spider-Man to meet her at so-and-so location. And so that right there gives Peter Parker the idea of possibly moving on from Mary Jane and possibly dating Black Cat. Because right now, him and Mary Jane, they have issues right now because Mary Jane's father. And so for Peter Parker, he's kind of like, well, maybe I can date Black Cat. I mean, she's free, she got powers, she fights at night. Maybe I can leave Mary Jane behind and possibly date Black Cat. Now, the thing is though guys, we do jump over to a random bar. And we do once again pick up with Mr. Moore. Now the thing is though guys, Mr. Moore is walking into this bar to meet with the assassin that he had hired to basically go after Spider-Man and Black Cat. And the thing is though guys, the assassin that he hired is of course Elektra. Now guys, this is technically the first appearance of Elektra in Ultimate Marvel. Now, of course, guys, we did a video over the origin of Ultimate Elektra in Ultimate Daredevil. But guys, this book right here, this storyline, is actually her first appearance in Ultimate Marvel. Now, we do jump over to Peter Parker. And right now, guys, you do got Peter Parker wearing his Spider-Man outfit. He's kind of like, you know what? Maybe I should meet up with Black Cat. At first, I wasn't going to, but maybe I should go meet up with her. And so, of course, Peter Parker goes to the location that Black Cat gave him in that letter. And when he gets there, Black Cat has a picnic ready for Spider-Man. She got wine, she got food, a nice blanket. They are basically going to have a picnic on the rooftop of a random building. And of course, Peter's kind of like, you know what? Maybe this is a sign to give her a chance. And so he does sit down and start having a picnic with Black Cat. The thing is though, while they're hanging out, they do get attacked from behind by Elektra. And so guys, now we have Elektra fighting against Black Cat and Spider-Man. Now, you do have Black Cat and Elektra fight one another. Now, the thing is though, guys, Brian Michael Bendis gives us like a very, very long fight. And what I mean is that for like 10 pages, you are just watching Black Cat fight against Elektra. For literally 10 pages, it's just these two ladies fighting one another. Now, the thing is though, guys, this is Brian Michael Bendis kind of like saying to us, listen, even though these two are fighting one another, and yes, it may seem like they are equal to one another, you know, and I know that Elektra is a well-trained assassin. And so there's no way that Black Cat can truly survive against Elektra. And so right now, even though these two look like they are equal to one another, in reality, they're not. Now, the thing is though, guys, Peter Parker, he's playing defense. He's kind of like, I have to play defense because I need to get these two ladies to calm down. Because right now, they're trying to kill one another. And I cannot let that happen. Now, the thing is though, guys, while they're fighting, all three of them, you do have Black Cat tell Elektra to tell her master that she is not like her father. Now, that right there is a very, very important thing. Now, the thing is though, guys, after she says that, you do have Black Cat and Elektra kind of knock Spider-Man off the rooftop. And by the time he gets back on the rooftop where Elektra was fighting against Black Cat, they're both gone. They're both gone and they both have disappeared. Now we do jump over to the Kingpin Tower. Now guys, this is a quick one-page setting because you do have Mr. Dini walk into the bedroom of the Kingpin and tell the Kingpin, listen, Elektra failed. She was unable to get the tablet back from Black Cat. But thanks to Elektra, we may know who the Black Cat is. And then we do jump over to the home of the Parkers. And the thing is though, guys, you do have Aunt May get a phone call in the middle of the night. And the thing is though, guys, it is Mary Jane's mother. And the thing is though, Mary Jane's mother is calling Aunt May to tell her that that Mary Jane is missing. Now, like any other guardian of a child, when you get a phone call in the middle of the night and you hear that another child has run away, you start to freak out. And so, of course, you do have Aunt May go to the room of Peter Parker to see if that he's still in his room. The thing is though, when she gets inside his room, he's not there. And so now she assumes that Peter Parker has joined Mary Jane and they both left to go somewhere else. Now, Aunt May runs to Gwen Stacy's room and you have Aunt May tell Gwen what in the world is going on. That Mary Jane and now possibly Peter Parker are both missing. Now, the thing is though, Peter Parker is downstairs. He's downstairs in the kitchen drinking milk. And it's kind of like, hey Aunt May, why in the world are you freaking out? It's 1 in the morning. I'm just working on my midterm paper, drinking some milk. And the thing is though, you have Aunt May tell Peter Parker, your girlfriend's missing. She ran away from home. Her mom just called me. She packed a bag and she left. And so you have Peter Parker leave his house. He runs all the way over to the home of Mary Jane and her family. And when he gets there, he automatically gets attacked verbally by Mary Jane's father. Now, man, I really do love this part right here, because you got Peter Parker kind of stop Mary Jane's father and say, listen, man, don't get mad at me because what happened. Because the thing is though, it's your fault that she ran away, not mine, yours. She hates living here with you because you make her life so miserable, because you are a horrible father. Like Peter Parker literally lays it out towards Mary Jane's father, saying that you're mad at me for something you did. Now let's stop fighting and let's go out there and find your daughter. Now, the thing is though, you do have Mary Jane's mother run outside begging Peter Parker to help them find Mary Jane. And of course, Peter Parker realized something. Wait a second. I know where she is. She's in the one place I told her to go to just in case anything happens. The same place he told Mary Jane to hide when he was fighting the Green Goblin back in Volume 4, the old warehouse. And so you have Peter Parker just go to the old warehouse and he finds Mary Jane just like that. Now, of course, you do have the two young people kind of talk to one another, and Peter Parker's kind of like, you have to go back home. Like, yes, your father is a horrible person, but you cannot make it out in the world by yourself at this age. And your mom, she's still there for you, and she loves you. I love you. My aunt loves you, even Gwen, but you have to go back home. And so you have Peter Parker take Mary Jane back home. Now we do jump over to the Daily Bugle. And the thing is though, guys, we pick up with Peter Parker at work. But the thing is though, guys, while he's at work, he is remembering what Black Cat said to Elektra, that she is not like her father. And so you got Peter Parker go in detective mode. And he's kind of like, let me go on my computer and look things up. Let me see if I'm able to figure out who Black Cat is. And of course, guys, just like that, Peter Parker is able to find out information about Black Cat's father, Jack Hardy. Jack Hardy, who was the original Black Cat. And the thing is though, he got arrested and he got put away in jail. And so the thing is though, guys, with that information right there, he was able to figure out who is the daughter of Jack Hardy, Felicia Hardy. And so you have Peter Parker say, there's her address, I need to go visit the Black Cat. The thing is though, when Peter Parker changes into his Spider-Man outfit, he gets there too late, because when he gets there, Elektra and the Kingpin are both there trying to kill Black Cat for the tablet. And so now you have a four-way fight. You have Black Cat, Spider-Man fighting against the Kingpin and Elektra. It's four people fighting each other in this small apartment. And of course, nobody's winning because again, it is a small apartment. Now, you do have Black Cat and Spider-Man go to the rooftop to get away from the Kingpin and Elektra as a little breathing room to talk to one another. And guys, this is where we kind of find out the reason why she became Black Cat. Because you have Black Cat tell Spider-Man, listen, you don't know, my father was going to jail because he was involved in some shady stuff. But the thing is though, he was killed by the Kingpin. The Kingpin killed my father, and so that's why I'm trying to get revenge against the Kingpin. I don't know why he wants this tablet so bad, but I cannot let the Kingpin have this tablet. And so that's why I'm doing this. This is why I'm going after the Kingpin, because he wants this so bad that whatever he needs it for is going to hurt him if he does not get this tablet back from me. Now, the thing is though, out of nowhere, Elektra does appear. She does throw one of her knives, and it does impale Black Cat right in the chest. And so guys, it does seem like this is the death, quote unquote death, of Black Cat, because she does fall into the Bay of New York with the tablet being lost forever. And so you do have Peter Parker kind of go down there to see if maybe he can find her body. The thing is though, he cannot find her body at all, neither the tablet. Now, we do jump over to the Tower of the Kingpin. And guys, this is where we come to find out why the Kingpin wanted the tablet so bad. Because guys, that tablet has some ancient text on it. And that ancient text could have some kind of healing process to help out the Kingpin's wife. Because the Kingpin's wife is in some kind of coma. And she has been visited by different doctors. And every single doctor told the Kingpin that they can't help him. And so that tablet that Black Cat stole from Mr. Moore had information on possibly a way to heal Vanessa Fisk, the wife of the Kingpin, Wilson Fisk. But the thing is though, that tablet is lost forever. And guys, this is us ending today's video. Now guys, if you did like today's video, please leave me a like down below, and also subscribe for more comic book stories in the near future. Also guys, any suggestions on books I should read, well, let me know in the comments below. Now guys, after this video right here, I think we jump over to Ultimate Fantastic Four or Ultimate Nightmare. I have to check my list. Now, if we're gonna do Ultimate Fantastic Four, we get introduced to Doctor Doom in this universe, like the actual Doctor Doom persona. Or we go to Ultimate Nightmare, which does begin a weird like trilogy, which I'll explain in another video. But anyways guys, I do hope you like today's video. Later guys. What's going on there, YouTube, and welcome to Fresh Comic Stories. Guys, this is the channel where we basically sit down and cover different kinds of comic book stories. Now guys, today we are going to continue our coverage with the Ultimate Marvel Universe. Now guys, for the past couple weeks we have been covering Ultimate Fantastic Four, but guys, it is time for us to jump back over to Ultimate Spider-Man. Now guys, today we are going to cover Ultimate Spider-Man, the Carnage storyline. And guys, this will be the first appearance of Ultimate Carnage in the Ultimate Marvel Universe. Now guys, I do hope you enjoyed this video, and if you do, please hit the like button and also subscribe for more comic book stories in the near future. But anyways guys, let's go ahead and dive into Ultimate Spider-Man, the first appearance of Ultimate Carnage. Now guys, to begin our story, we do pick up with basically Curt Connors right now being the Lizard. Now, you're probably wondering, okay, when in the world did we cover the origin of Ultimate Marvel Lizard? The thing is though guys, we did not, because the origin of the Lizard took place in a storyline called Ultimate Marvel Team Up. Guys, in the beginning of Ultimate Marvel gave us two different titles, Ultimate Spider-Man and Ultimate Marvel Team Up. Now, when it came to Ultimate Marvel Team Up, guys, that was basically Spider-Man just hanging out with different kinds of superheroes. But that was their way to kind of tell us what characters we are going to see in the Ultimate Marvel universe. And so guys, back in Ultimate Marvel number 10, that was a book where basically Spider-Man teamed up with Man-Thing. And things so guys, that was the book where we got the origin of Curt Connors as the Lizard. Now the thing is though guys, we come to find out with this storyline right here, Ultimate Carnage, the thing is though guys, Curt Connors is having a nightmare, and his nightmare is him just being the Lizard, going into his old home, about to kill his own child. Now the thing is though guys, every single time he's about to give the killing blow to his child in his nightmare, that is when he wakes up. But things though guys, we come to find out that he has not been the Lizard in a very long time. The thing is though guys, his wife still left him. Even though Spider-Man was able to turn the Lizard back into Curt Connors, his wife could not deal with the fact that her husband was some kind of monster. And so she divorced him, took his son, and just left him behind. Now, we do jump over to Peter Parker right now being Spider-Man. And things though guys, right now you got Peter Parker just hanging out in New York, just trying to find some kind of trouble. The thing is though guys, he does get word that somebody's right now holding a bunch of different hostages at a random museum. And so you do have Peter Parker kind of say, you know what, it's time for me to be a superhero. And so you have Peter Parker kind of go to the museum. Now guys, this is the book where we get introduced to another character, and this character's name is Gladiator. And for some strange reason, I have a hard time pronouncing his name. I don't know why, it's very simple, but anyways though guys, we get introduced to Gladiator. Now guys, when it comes to Gladiator, he was more of a daredevil villain in the main Marvel timeline. I'm not saying that Peter Parker didn't fight against him in the main Marvel timeline, but he was more of a daredevil villain. The thing is though guys, when it comes to Ultimate Marvel, Daredevil barely got any books at all. Like, he only appeared in like 2 miniseries and also the X-Men title and maybe a few other books here and there. Besides that, nobody really saw Daredevil in Ultimate Marvel for like at least 20 books, and that's it. And so you have Brian Michael Bendis kind of use the character Gladiator as a bad guy for Peter Parker to fight, just only this book right here. Now, you do have the two characters fight one another, and they do go back and forth, but of course guys, it is Spider-Man, and the main storyline is called Carnage. So of course, Spider-Man is able to defeat this character very easily. The thing is though guys, while he was fighting against Gladiator, Gladiator did cut Peter Parker on his side, which basically gave him a brand new, big, huge, gaping wound. And so of course, Peter Parker cannot go to a nearby hospital because if he does, well, they might figure out that he is Spider-Man. But also, Aunt May will also figure out that he is Spider-Man. And so you have Peter Parker go to the one person that he believes that can patch him up from his cut wound. And that one person is Curt Connors. Now, things though, guys, you do have Curt Connors kind of very quickly patch up Peter Parker from his cut wounds. The thing is though guys, right after Curt Connors was able to patch up Peter Parker and Peter Parker does go back home leaving the labs of Curt Connors, you do have Curt Connor look at one of the blood samples of Peter Parker. And the thing is though guys, right when he looks at the blood sample, he realized that there is something special about Peter Parker's blood. Now, we do jump forward in time, and the thing is though guys, we do pick up with another new character being introduced to us in this storyline, and this character name is Ben Reilly. That is correct guys, we are being introduced to Ben Reilly. Now guys, if you're not a big huge Spider-Man fan, back in the 1990s, there was a storyline called The Clone Saga. And basically, Peter Parker had a bunch of clones, and one of those clones was Ben Reilly. Now, the thing is though guys, you have Brian Michael Bendis in the Ultimate Spider-Man universe say, no, we are not going to do the whole he's a clone of Peter Parker. We are going to make Ben Reilly be his own character. And so guys, you have Ben Reilly being his own character. He's just a lab assistant to Curt Connors. Now, the thing is though, guys, you do have Ben Reilly kind of walk in on Curt Connors, and he sees the blood sample of Peter Parker, and he's kind of like, yo, Curt, what in the world have you been working on? And you have Curt Connors kind of like, you cannot tell anybody about that blood sample. Like, you cannot tell a soul. Now, we do jump over to Peter Parker. And things though, guys, Peter Parker caught a cold. And so, of course, he got forced to stay home because he is a sick person and you can't go to school with a cold. And so right now, Peter Parker is just at home chilling, watching TV. Now, you do have Curt Connors You do have Curt Connors kind of call up Peter Parker saying, hey man, listen, I want to sit down with you and talk about something. Can we meet up somewhere? And of course, you do have Peter Parker say, yes, sure, we can meet up. Now, we do pick up with Peter Parker sitting down with Curt Connors at some random diner. Now, the reason why they're meeting up at this diner, guys, is because you have Curt Connors kind of ask Peter Parker, can he use his blood sample? Because Curt Connors has been working day in and day out on the blood sample of Peter Parker. And he's kind of like, listen, I feel like your blood could unlock so many different cures for the human race. You could be the person that can help us find the cure for cancer or the cure for any kind of disease out there. Your blood is the perfect sample, but I will not use your blood sample unless I have your permission. And you have Peter Parker say, yes. If I'm with the person who can help save the whole world from evil viruses out there, then yes, Curt Connors, use my blood sample to basically unlock all the cures in the world. Now, you do have Peter Parker kind of leave Curt Connors at the diner with Curt Connors kind of like, cool, it's time for me to work on this blood sample. Now, we do jump forward in time. Matter of fact, guys, we do jump forward about 2 months after the meeting. And the thing is though, guys, we pick up with the Punisher. Guys, Brian Michael Bendis is like basically throwing in all these different kinds of characters. Now guys, the Punisher, this is also not his first appearance. Matter of fact, guys, he first appeared in a different book, but for some strange reason, that book is right now like skipping my mind. But the thing is though, guys, the Punisher is just like his counterpart in the main Marvel timeline. His family died, he went crazy, and now he believes if you're a bad guy, you should die. Now, of course, you do have Spider-Man fight against the Punisher, and of course, he is able to easily defeat the Punisher because, hey, it's the Punisher. He's not a huge threat at all. Now, we do jump over to Curt Connors and Ben Reilly. And the thing is though, guys, we come to find out that they did something different with the blood sample of Peter Parker. Instead of using it as a way to find the cure for cancer, they basically made a second suit, a second symbiote suit, just like Venom. Except this time, this suit is Carnage. They were able to basically make a second suit because, guys, we come to find out Curt Connors did not just use the blood sample of Peter Parker, he also used the paperwork from Peter Parker's father experiment that made Venom. Because Curt Connors believes, because he's a smart man, he'll be able to finish Peter Parker's father's last experiment, the Venom suit, the suit that was supposed to cure cancer. But he believes with Peter Parker's blood, with Spider-Man blood anyways, he believes that with his new suit, it will be even better than Peter Parker's father symbiote suit. Now guys, we do pick up with Ben Reilly. And the thing is though, guys, you do have Ben Reilly right now walking into the laboratory to check up on the Carnage symbiote suit. Now the thing is though, guys, as soon as Ben Reilly walks into the Carnage laboratory room, he comes to find out that the suit is missing. And so he's kind of like, wait a second, where in the world is the Carnage symbiote suit? Now, you do have Ben Reilly call up Curt Connors to see possibly if Curt Connors has taken the suit. The thing is though, guys, you do have Curt Connors tell Ben Reilly, no, I don't have the suit. The suit's not with me because the suit is not done yet. We're still working on it. And the thing is though, guys, while you have Ben Reilly and Curt Connors arguing on the phone, that is when basically Ben Reilly hears a loud scream. And he goes in the hallway to see what in the world was that loud scream coming from. And the thing is though, guys, when he gets down the hallway, he does see a dead body. He sees the dead body of a security guard. And that tells Ben Reilly that his suit is out there and is killing people to stay alive. Now, we do jump over to Gwen Stacy. And the thing is though, guys, Gwen Stacy's right now at the mall just buying socks. But the thing is though, guys, she does bump into Mary Jane. Now guys, this part right here is very minor. It is very minor, but it's still something I like, because you have Mary Jane and Gwen Stacy right here just bonding with one another for the first time. Guys, remember, Mary Jane, she hated Gwen Stacy because she believed that Gwen Stacy was trying to take Peter Parker away from her. And so for a long time, Mary Jane hated Gwen Stacy in Ultimate Spider-Man. But the thing is though, guys, this part right here is these two characters bonding with one another, because now Gwen Stacy knows that Peter Parker is Spider-Man. And so you have a good few pages of these two characters just bonding with one another. Now, we do jump over to the Carnage symbiote suit. And the thing is though, guys, this suit is just going around eating random people. For example, you have a couple just enjoying their night, thinking that they're going to go home and possibly go to bed. The thing is though, guys, the Carnage symbiote suit out of nowhere attacks them. Because again, it needs to eat people to stay alive. And so it does kill off these two random people. Now, the thing is though, guys, you do have the Carnage symbiote suit start to remember things. Guys, remember, this suit was made with the blood sample of Peter Parker. And so the next thing you know, I can't talk, sorry guys. The next thing you know is that the suit starts to remember everything that Peter Parker used to remember. So every single memory that Peter Parker had in the past, the suit also has those same memories. And the first thing it also remembers was the Parker's house. And so you have the Carnage symbiote suit swing over to the home of the Parkers. The thing is though, guys, you also have Gwen Stacy arrive at the same time as the suit arrives. And the thing is though, guys, the suit, it kills off Gwen Stacy. And that's why I say the whole Mary Jane and Gwen Stacy bonding scene is a huge deal, because Mary Jane, she just finally became friends with Gwen Stacy, and she dies right here because the suit needs to eat people to survive. Now guys, we do pick up with Aunt May arriving home to the Parker's house. Now the thing is though, guys, as soon as she walks inside the house, she starts to look around and see who's home right now, Peter Parker or Gwen Stacy. The thing is though, guys, she can't find anybody at all. Now the thing is though, guys, while she's walking around the house to see who's home, she does look outside in the backyard, and she does see the body of Gwen Stacy. And right off the bat, she starts to cry. Now, we do jump over to Peter Parker. And the thing is though, guys, we do pick up with Peter Parker right now, just basically working at the Daily Bugle. The thing is though, guys, he does get a call from Aunt May, and she does inform Peter Parker that Gwen Stacy is now dead. And of course, guys, you do have Peter Parker just rush home to make sure that maybe, just maybe, Aunt May is wrong. Gwen is still alive. But of course, when Peter Parker arrives at his house, he does see a bunch of police cars, and he also sees the dead body of Gwen Stacy. Now, we are going to skip over a few pages, and we're going to pick up with Peter Parker staying over the home of Mary Jane. And the thing is though, guys, you do have Mary Jane ask Peter Parker, did Gwen die because of your Spider-Man life? And the thing is though, guys, you have Peter say, I don't know. I'm really hoping that Gwen did not die because of my Spider-Man life, because if she did, I will hate myself even more than I do right now. Now, the thing is though, guys, you do have Mary Jane go to bed, and Peter just basically stays up a little longer to think about how Gwen Stacy died. The thing is though, guys, while he's downstairs thinking about Gwen Stacy, he did overhear one of the police officers talk about the security guard earlier in our video, saying how the Empire State University also had a dead body. And so with that right there, Peter realized that maybe, just maybe, whatever happened to Gwen Stacy is connected to Curt Connors. And when that clicks in his head, when he looks outside his window, he does see Curt Connors in the front door of his house. Now, you do have Peter Parker go over to his house, and he does ask Curt Connors, what in the world did you do? What happened? What happened with your experiment with my blood sample? And you have Curt Connors say, listen, we basically took your blood, but we also used the notes of your father, the same notes that made the Venom suit. And we believe, because we're like your father, we're also scientists, but with your blood, we could improve on his experiment. But the thing is though, we failed. We made a living organism that's right now out there in the world that has to feed on people to survive. Peter, I'm sorry, but honestly, I'm the reason Gwen Stacy died. Now, thing is though, guys, while you have Peter Parker argue with Curt Connors, out of nowhere, the Carnage symbiote appears in front of Peter Parker and Curt Connors. Now guys, to go ahead and wrap up this storyline, you do have basically Peter Parker fighting against the Carnage symbiote suit. Now the thing is though, guys, this fight right here, it does take up most of the pages in this book, in the final chapter of Ultimate Spider-Man Carnage. Because guys, it's just Peter Parker fighting against the Carnage symbiote suit. The thing is though, guys, I do like this fight though. Because guys, this is Peter Parker realizing how dangerous this suit is. Because guys, this suit was made with the blood sample of Peter Parker, but also with the notes of Peter Parker's father's experiment. And so with those two things combined, this Carnage symbiote is more dangerous than the Venom symbiote. Because Venom was just made by Peter Parker's father, without Peter Parker's actual blood. But with Carnage, this thing is more powerful than Venom, because it has the blood sample of Peter Parker. Now, you do have Peter Parker just basically continuing his fight with Carnage all over New York until he was able to take the suit somewhere to be burned alive, basically killing the Carnage symbiote. And so guys, this is Peter Parker saying, okay, there's no more Carnage, there's no more Venom. Like, I had to get rid of another symbiote, but this time this symbiote got burned to death. Now, we do jump forward in time, guys, and we do pick up with Curt Connors after basically the night where Peter Parker fought against Carnage, and you do have Curt Connors go to the police officers, and he's saying, listen, every single death, every single body that you found in the past couple days is because of me, because of my failed experiment. Arrest me, take me away. It's my fault those innocent people out there died because of my failed experiment. Now, we do jump over to Ben Reilly. And things so guys, even though Curt Connors got arrested, Ben Reilly did not get arrested. And the thing is though, guys, you do have Ben Reilly kind of walk back into the laboratory. And before the police officers are able to clean the laboratory out, you do have Ben Reilly take one single blood sample of Peter Parker's, and basically telling us that Ben Reilly is going to try to make a second Carnage symbiote. Now, to wrap up this video though, we do jump over to Peter Parker. And the thing is though guys, you do have Peter Parker kind of sit down and talk to Mary Jane. And he tells Mary Jane everything that happened. He's saying Gwen Stacy's death is because of me, because of my Spider-Man life. And thanks to her death right there, I can no longer be Spider-Man. Mary Jane, I quit being Spider-Man. And guys, that wraps up Ultimate Spider-Man Carnage. Now guys, if you did like today's video, please leave me a like down below and also subscribe for more comic book stories in the near future. Also, any suggestions on books I should read, well, let me know in the comments below. But anyways guys, I'm out of here and I'll see you in the next comic book video. Later guys. What's going on there YouTube, and welcome to Fresh Comic Stories. Guys, this is the channel where we basically sit down and cover different kinds of comic book stories. Now guys, today we are going to continue our coverage over Ultimate Marvel. And guys, we once again pick back up with Ultimate Spider-Man. And we're going to cover a two-part story where basically Wolverine switches bodies with Spider-Man. Yes, you heard me correctly. Wolverine and Spider-Man switch bodies. And guys, this is only a two-part storyline, but honestly guys, this is one of the fun ones of Ultimate Spider-Man. Now guys, I do hope you enjoyed this video, and if you do, please hit that like button down below and also subscribe for more comic book stories in the near future. But anyways guys, let's go ahead and dive into Ultimate Spider-Man, which by the way switches bodies with Wolverine. Now guys, to begin our story, we do pick up with Peter Parker. Now the thing is though guys, you do have Peter Parker kind of wake up for school because you had Aunt May kept calling his name over and over again. Now the thing is though guys, as soon as Peter Parker gets up for school, he does go downstairs and he is greeted once again by Aunt May. Now the thing is though guys, you have Peter Parker kind of give the look of, who in the world are you? And why in the world are you talking about moving to a new house? What in the world is going on? Now, you do have Peter Parker go downstairs to the basement. And the thing is though guys, as soon as he gets down to the basement, he is greeted by Mary Jane. Now guys, just like Aunt May, you have Peter Parker kind of like, okay, who in the world is this lady? And why in the world is she hugging me and kissing me? Like, what in the world is going on right now? This cannot be my life. Now we do jump over to Wolverine. Now the thing is though guys, you have Wolverine waking up in a random motel. And the thing is though guys, as soon as he wakes up, he's kind of like, what in the world is going on? Where am I? Why do I smell bad? Like, where in the world am I right now? And why in the world am I naked? Now the thing is though guys, you do have Wolverine walk into the bathroom, look at the mirror, and he does see himself. But the thing is though guys, he freaks out. And the thing is though guys, with him freaking out, he does pop open one of his claws, which of course does stab him. Now we do jump back over to Peter Parker, and the thing is though guys, you do have Peter Parker kind of still walking around the house trying to figure out what in the world is going on. And that's when you have Aunt May kind of hand him the phone, saying somebody on the phone wants to talk to you about work. Now the thing is though guys, as soon as Peter Parker answers the phone, he is greeted by Wolverine on the phone. And guys, this is where we come to find out that Wolverine and Peter Parker have basically switched bodies, because you have Wolverine, who's right now really Peter Parker, tell Wolverine, listen, somehow you and I have switched bodies. I don't know how, but we did. But the thing is though guys, you have to go to school for me, because I cannot miss school. And I know that you have never been to school before, but listen, today is going to be your first day. I need you to go to school. And the thing is though, guys, with Wolverine being in Peter Parker's body, he's kind of like, excuse me, you go to school? Like, you really go to school and everything? You're a superhero. You are Spider-Man and you go to school? And now you're telling me that I have to go to school? And you have Peter Parker, who's still Wolverine right now, kind of tell Wolverine, yes, you have to go to school for me. You literally have to go to school for me before I miss any more days. Now guys, with Wolverine being the body of Peter Parker, you do have Wolverine go to school because once again, Peter Parker asked him to go to school. The thing is though, guys, with Wolverine arriving to school, he is once again greeted by Mary Jane because she still believes that Wolverine is Peter Parker. And so as soon as he arrives to school, you do have Mary Jane kind of hand him the Spider-Man outfit, saying, here's your costume just in case you have to go be a superhero once again. Now, of course, Wolverine does not like costumes at all. And so as soon as he looks in the bag and see the Spider-Man outfit, he's kind of like, yeah, this is totally not happening. Now, the thing is though, guys, you do have Peter Parker, who's right now in the body of Wolverine, walk up to Wolverine and say, okay, what in the world happened? Like, why in the world did you and I switch bodies for? Because basically right now, you're me and I'm you. And we can't have that because the thing is, I hate being you and I damn well know for sure that you hate being me. So you and I need to switch bodies. But the thing is though, guys, you do have both characters realize that they have no way to reverse this. And so you have Peter Parker tell Wolverine, since you're in my body, you are gonna have to live out my life for right now, which means you have to go to class and you have to sit there and just basically take all the notes you can because I can't afford to miss another day. Now, thing is though, guys, while Wolverine, who's in the body of Peter Parker, is in class right now, you have Peter Parker, who's right now Wolverine, outside of school wondering how in the world can he be able to switch bodies back to normal. The thing is though, guys, while Peter Parker, who's right now in the body of Wolverine, is waiting to find a way to switch bodies back to normal, he does see a bunch of cops go after somebody in a car chase. And so Peter Parker believes that maybe he still be a superhero even though he's not in his own body. And so you have Peter Parker use the body of Wolverine to go after the police to kind of help them chase down the random thug. The thing is though, guys, Peter Parker is not used to being Wolverine. And so of course, when he goes and try to be a superhero, well, he kind of messes everything up and causes a huge car crash. Now guys, after the car accident was made because Peter Parker, who's right now in Wolverine's body, made the car crash, you do have Peter Parker kind of get out of the car crash. And the thing is though, guys, as soon as he gets out of the car crash, he is surrounded by a bunch of different police officers. Now guys, these police officers, they know who Wolverine is because Wolverine is an X-Men and the X-Men are well known to the public eye. And so when Peter Parker thought it'd be a good idea to use the body of Wolverine, the thing is though, guys, when his claws popped out, of course, the police officers saw them. They're kind of like, yo, Claws, you are a mutant. You're from the X-Men. You're Wolverine. We know you're an assassin. We cannot be safe with you. And so as soon as Peter Parker gets back up after using the body of Wolverine, you do have police officers kind of like, dude, we are taking you to jail because we have no idea you're a good guy or a bad guy, but we are taking you to jail. And so Peter Parker, who's in the body of Wolverine, gets arrested. Now, we do jump forward to the actual police station where you do have Wolverine right now sitting, sorry, not Wolverine, you do have Peter Parker, who's in the body of Wolverine, right now sitting in a prison cell. And of course, guys, you know how it goes. You do get that one phone call when you do get arrested. Now, the thing is though, guys, Peter Parker used the one call to call up the X-Men to tell him that what happened to him, saying that, listen, I'm not Wolverine, I'm Peter Parker, and somehow me and your fellow teammate have switched bodies. I don't know how, but we have. And I'm calling you guys to, one, bail me out of jail, but two, find a way to fix our problem. Now, the thing is though, guys, of course, when Peter Parker called the X-Mansion, all they hear is Wolverine's voice. And so they do not believe the fact that Wolverine and Spider-Man have switched bodies, because on the phone line, all they hear is Wolverine. And it sounds like Wolverine is drunk or he just gone crazy. And so the X-Men just hang up the call, which means Peter Parker, who's right now in the body of Wolverine, has no choice but to kind of stick it out in prison. The thing is though, guys, while he's waiting out in prison, you do have Wolverine appear wearing the Spider-Man outfit. Because guys, remember, Peter Parker and Wolverine have switched bodies. And so right now, with Wolverine being in the body of Peter Parker, he's kind of like, listen kid, I use your powers, your spider powers, to come here and to technically break you out, which right now you're in my body, but to break you out, and so we can find a way to fix our big, huge problem. Now, the thing is though, guys, you do have Peter Parker and Wolverine kind of go outside, and they're trying to figure out what in the world happened to them. Why in the world did they switch bodies? The thing is though, guys, while they're talking to one another, you do have the X-Men kind of appear in front of both Wolverine and Peter Parker. Now guys, this is where we kind of find out why in the world did they switch bodies. Because guys, if you jump back to Ultimate X-Men Volume 6, I want to say, Volume 6 or 7, the blockbuster storyline, Jean Grey warned Wolverine, if Wolverine kind of gives one thought of somehow banging or having some kind of sexual thought about Jean Grey in his mind, Jean Grey was going to get, sorry, I can't talk. Jean Grey told him that if you have one more nasty thought of me, I am going to do something evil to you. And so guys, that was done back in Ultimate X-Men, the blockbuster storyline. But things so guys, Brian Michael Bendis wrote that storyline right there. And so he used that one single line, and he brought that single line all the way over to Ultimate Spider-Man. And you have Jean Grey tell Wolverine, oh sorry, she reminds Wolverine that she says, listen, I warned you, if you have one more nasty thought of me about you and I doing the nasty, I would do something evil to you. And this is me getting payback against you because you had a nasty thought of me. And so I basically forced your two minds to switch because Wolverine, well, hey, he had one nasty thought of me. And guys, that is Brian Michael Bendis taking the smallest thing and just using it for another storyline. But thing is though, guys, as soon as Jean Grey tells Wolverine and Peter Parker on why their minds have been switched, you do have Jean Grey just easily fix the problem and put them two cells back in their right body. And the thing is though, guys, you have Peter Parker just freak out. He's kind of like, listen, I know why people hate you so much. It's not because you're mutants, because you're just crazy people. Like literally, you could have done anything else to Wolverine. Instead, you involved me and you almost ruined my life. And so with that right there, guys, you do have Peter Parker kind of just leave and he goes home. And he's kind of like, I'm done. I'm done. I'm going home and I quit. Like you guys just basically made my life even harder. And guys, that wraps up this two-part storyline. I do know it's not one of the greatest storylines and it's kind of lame, but to me, honestly guys, when I was a young boy reading this storyline right here, it was kind of fun. But anyway though, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap up today's video. Please leave me a like down below and also subscribe for more comic book stories in the near future. Also, any suggestions on books I should read, well, let me know in the comments below. But anyways, guys, I'm out of here and I'll see you in the next comic book video. What's going on there, YouTube, and welcome to Fresh Comic Stories. Guys, this is the channel where we basically sit down and cover different kinds of comic book stories. Now guys, today we are going to continue our coverage over the Ultimate Marvel Universe. And guys, today we're going to pick back up with Ultimate Spider-Man. And guys, we are going to cover a storyline, a two-part storyline, where basically Spider-Man does team up with the Human Torch. Now guys, I truthfully like this storyline a lot because this is Brian Michael Bendis bringing the idea of the Human Torch and Spider-Man being best friends in the Ultimate Universe, just like their counterparts are in the main Marvel Universe. But anyways, guys, I do hope you enjoyed this video, and if you do, please hit that like and also subscribe for more Ultimate Marvel comics on Mondays, because we are going over the complete Ultimate Marvel reading order. And guys, we're still like not even halfway done yet. We have to cover Ultimate X-Men, Ultimate Fantastic Four again, and also cover some more Ultimates. But anyways, guys, let's go ahead and dive into Ultimate Spider-Man teaming up with the Human Torch. I do hope you enjoy. Now guys, to begin our story, we do pick up with the Fantastic Four. Now the thing is though, guys, this is the Fantastic Four right now just hanging out at the Baxter Building. Now the thing is though, guys, while they're hanging out at the Baxter Building, you do have Sue Storm walk up to her brother. And the thing is though, guys, you have Sue Storm tell Johnny Storm, listen, I talked to Father and I have been talking to Reed, and we all believe that you should go back to school and finish high school so you can get your high school diploma, because you're the one person on the team who does not have their high school diploma. Now the thing is though, guys, you have Johnny Storm kind of tell Sue, why should I? Because we're superheroes now. Like, we are going to be so popular that we're going to have people just giving us money. We are going to be rich because we're superheroes now. But the thing is though, guys, you have Sue Storm say, yeah, but how long will that last though? Because sooner or later, something can happen and the next thing you know, you are no longer rich. And so the question is though, what do you do next then? If you lose all those amazing deals for being a superhero, what can you do next? That's why you need your high school diploma. And I have already told Father that you are going back, because you literally have one semester left and that's it, and you'll be done. Now, we do jump over to Midtown High. And the thing is though, guys, this does take place, I want to say, a couple days after Sue Storm tells her brother that he's going back to high school. And the reason why I say that is because right now we pick up with Peter Parker being bullied by Flash Thompson and Kong once again. The thing is though, guys, while you have Flash Thompson and Kong kind of picking on Peter Parker and also his girlfriend Mary Jane, you do have Johnny Storm at Midtown High watching the whole fight, the whole interaction, because he's kind of like, okay, cool. So now I know high school has not changed at all. That high school is still the same thing all over again. You have your bullies, and those bullies pick on the smaller people, which are usually the nerds. Now, the thing is though, guys, while Flash Thompson and Kong kind of walk away, you do have Liz Allen realize that she was being watched by Johnny Storm. And the thing is though, guys, right off the bat, Liz Allen, she falls for Johnny Storm. She's kind of like, man, that dude is attractive. Like, I want to learn his name. I want to learn more about him. The thing is though, guys, Liz Allen is very shy. And so what she does, she goes over to Mary Jane and she asks Mary Jane to be her wing woman. And the thing is though, guys, she wants Mary Jane to go over there, talk to Johnny Storm, learn more about him, but also say, hey man, listen, my best friend Liz Allen over there has a small crush on you. And so this is Mary Jane kind of like, but why me? And you have Liz kind of like, because you're my best friend. You are my best friend. You are supposed to help me. And I need your help because I want to date that guy right over there. Now, we do jump over a couple hours after Liz Allen has first saw Johnny Storm. Now, the thing is though, guys, you do have Mary Jane kind of help Liz Allen out because she does go over to the table that Johnny Storm is staying at. And the thing is though, guys, you do have Mary Jane kind of ask Johnny Storm a few questions about his life, like where are you from? Who are you? Are you a bad guy? Are you a good guy? Like, what are you? Who are you? And the thing is though, guys, you have Johnny kind of answer all her questions, but at the same time, he's still trying to, I can't talk, sorry guys. You still have Johnny Storm trying to hide the fact that he is part of the Fantastic Four. Because the thing is though, guys, even though the Fantastic Four are somewhat public to the world, you still have the Fantastic Four want to keep most of their lives under wrap, because they seen how other heroes are being treated in this world. Spider-Man, the Ultimates, Daredevil, so on and so on. And so you have the Fantastic Four kind of like, listen, yes, we're now public, but we still want to keep a low profile. Now, the thing is though, guys, you do have Johnny tell Mary Jane, yes, I will go over and talk to your friend Liz Allen and possibly set up a date. Now, we do jump forward in time. And the thing is though, guys, you do have Liz Allen tell Mary Jane and Peter Parker that Johnny Storm did agree to go on a date with her. The only thing is though, Liz's parents will not let Liz go on a date by herself. And so Liz say, listen, I need you guys to go with us because my parents will not let me go alone with this man. And so guys, this is her kind of setting up a double date. Peter Parker, Mary Jane with Liz Allen and Johnny Storm. Now, we do jump forward once again, and we do pick up with them right now on their double date. They're hanging out on the beach, just chilling and everything. And the thing is though, guys, this is kind of cool because this is them kind of coming together. Peter Parker, Mary Jane, Liz Allen, Johnny Storm, but also you have Kong there because, well, I have no idea why he's there, but he's just there. But the thing is though, guys, this is them kind of coming together as one big group. And it seems like Johnny Storm might be staying in the Ultimate Spider-Man comics because he is now part of this group. He's now possibly dating Liz Allen. The thing is though, guys, we do jump forward once again in time, and we do pick up with the group just hanging out around a campfire. The thing is though, guys, while they're talking, you do have Liz Allen kind of tell a story about Spider-Man and the Green Goblin fighting at their school. And guys, that did take place back in Volume 1. The thing is though, guys, this is the part where we come to find out that Johnny Storm, he looks up to Spider-Man as a role model because he's out there being a superhero. He's out there doing everything he can to protect New York, well, really Queens, but he's still being a good superhero. The thing is though, guys, while you have Johnny Storm kind of basically talking so much about Spider-Man, he forgot that he is close to the campfire. And so when his hand goes through the flames, of course, he automatically flames on. And the whole group realized, oh my God, this man has powers. This man could possibly be, I cannot talk again, guys. This man could possibly be a mutant. Now, guys, with Johnny Storm being the Human Torch right now in front of Peter Parker, Mary Jane, Kong, and Liz Allen, this is basically Spider-Man kind of figuring out that, hey, listen, there's other people out there who are just like him, who are superheroes. And this is Peter Parker first time meeting the Fantastic Four. Well, really just Johnny Storm, but he's still meeting the Fantastic Four technically right now with Johnny Storm. Now, the thing is though, guys, you do have Liz Allen just run away because she just freaks out. Now, guys, I don't remember if I mentioned this or not back in our Volume 1 video of Ultimate Spider-Man, but the thing is though, guys, Liz Allen, she kind of has this thing about mutants. Like, she's scared of them. And so when she sees the man that she's on a date with just basically flame on completely, she's kind of like, oh my God, he's a mutant. I am dating a mutant, and that freaks me out. And so she runs away. Now, guys, this right here is going to bite her in the butt later on in Ultimate Spider-Man comics down the road. But for right now, it's kind of like whatever. But the thing is though, guys, she just runs away and she freaks out. And with her freaking out, you do have Johnny Storm kind of like, I have to go too, because now I have ruined everything. Now, we do jump over to the next day at Midtown High, and we do pick up with Peter Parker, Mary Jane hanging out with Liz Allen. Now, the thing is though, guys, with them hanging out with one another is more of Mary Jane and Peter Parker seeing if Liz Allen is okay. Because again, guys, Liz Allen, she's scared of mutants. And the thing is though, guys, this group, they have no idea if Human Torch is a mutant or he got his powers from some crazy accident. Now, we know that basically the End Zone gave the powers to the Human Torch. But for Peter Parker, he's kind of like, listen, I only met a bunch of mutants so far. And so it's kind of like, I have no idea if he is a mutant. Now, the thing is though, guys, Liz Allen, she's having a hard day at school because everybody is picking on her. They're kind of like, oh my God, there goes Liz Allen. She's the girl who dates a mutant. And so she can't take it and she just goes home. She goes home crying because once again, the whole school is picking on her. Now, you do have Mary Jane and Peter Parker walk outside of Midtown High and about to go home from school. The thing is though, guys, when they get into the parking lot, you do have Johnny Storm there to greet them. Now, guys, this is basically Johnny kind of asking Peter and Mary Jane, how is Liz? Because, guys, we come to find out Johnny Storm, he truthfully cared for Liz Allen. He actually cared for her so much. The thing is though, guys, with him being the Human Torch, it freaked her out. And so she's now blocking all his calls, none of his texts. And so he's kind of like, how is she? Because I feel so bad for her. And I truthfully did care for her. I really wanted to see where it goes. But I messed up with my powers. Now, you do have Johnny kind of tell Peter Parker, Mary Jane, can you give her this message to meet me at this location at 5 o'clock? I just want to see if possibly I have a second chance. Now, he flies off. But the thing is, guys, as soon as he flies off, you do have Mary Jane tell Peter Parker, Liz is not going to go because she still believes that that man is a mutant. And so that right there, he's kind of like, so what should we do? Because he's going to be there waiting for her. And you have Mary Jane tell Peter Parker, well, go talk to him. You heard him last night. He looks up to you like you're a role model, that you're some big time superhero. And the thing is, that's what he wants to be, a big time superhero like you. Go out there and talk to the Human Torch. Now, guys, this is hard for Peter Parker because, guys, back in our Carnage storyline, Peter Parker told Mary Jane that he will no longer be Spider-Man. But the thing is though, this is him kind of like, okay, I guess I will put on the outfit one more time to talk to this man. Now, you do have Peter Parker go over to the location, and he kind of does meet up with the Human Torch, and they do sit down and have a conversation. Now guys, this is Spider-Man kind of like giving the Human Torch what he wanted, to always meet Spider-Man. That was his big dream right there, to meet the man who is basically his role model right now in the superhero community. And so this right now, this meeting is the best thing to happen towards the Human Torch. He's kind of like, I'm meeting my hero, Spider-Man. Now, you do have Peter Parker kind of give him some life advice, like, listen man, you are going to hit some hard times because you're a superhero. And that comes with the job. But it's your job to just keep going, and just keep being the superhero that this city or this world needs. No matter what happens, you just gotta keep pushing forward. Now, the thing is though, guys, while Peter Parker is kind of giving this advice to the Human Torch, out of nowhere, they hear a loud scream. And we come to find out there is a building on fire. Now, guys, this is kind of cool because this is the first time in the Ultimate Universe we get to see Peter Parker and the Human Torch work together to save people's lives from this burning building. It's the first time we've seen the two heroes who are best friends in the main Marvel timeline becoming best friends right now in the Ultimate Marvel timeline. They're working together to basically save innocent people's lives. Now guys, once they do that, they do go back to the park and they kind of talk about almost everything about being a superhero. The thing is though, guys, this is once again just Peter Parker being a good friend and giving more advice towards the Human Torch. Now, this is really the end of the storyline. This is the end. It's literally just Peter Parker giving Human Torch more advice on how to be a good superhero, but at the same time it's him kind of like, hey man, listen, I'm gonna mess up, you're gonna mess up, but the thing is, you just have to keep pushing forward. And by the way, the police are always going to hate you. That's one more fact right there to give you. But anyways though, guys, this is the end of today's video. So guys, if you did like today's video, please leave me a like down below and also subscribe for more comic book stories in the near future. Also, any suggestions on books I should read, well, let me know in the comments below, because you never know, your suggestion could be a future video down the road. But anyways guys, I'm out of here and I'll see you in the next comic book video. Later guys. What's going on there YouTube, and welcome to Fresh Comic Stories. Guys, this is the channel where we basically sit down and cover different kinds of comic book stories. Now guys, today we are going to sit down and cover more Ultimate Marvel. And guys, we are going to jump back into Ultimate Spider-Man and cover a two-part storyline where Spider-Man does meet up with Doctor Strange of the Ultimate Marvel Universe. And guys, this is us kind of getting the origin of Ultimate Doctor Strange in this storyline right here. Now guys, I do hope you enjoyed this video, and if you do, please hit that like button down below and also subscribe for more comic book videos in the near future. But guys, let's dive into Ultimate Spider-Man meeting up with Doctor Strange. Now guys, to begin our story, we do pick up with Peter Parker himself. Now the thing is though guys, Peter Parker is going on a date with Mary Jane. Now this part may not seem very important, but honestly guys, this part does play a big role in today's storyline. Now you do have Peter Parker and Mary Jane sit down at a table and they do look at the menus to decide on what they are going to eat. Now you do have Peter Parker tell Mary Jane that he had a very long day before he arrived here for this dinner. And you do have Mary Jane wanting to know what in the world happened before he arrived. And you do have Peter Parker tell Mary Jane everything that took place before this dinner. Now, you do have Peter Parker tell Mary Jane that, of course, his day started off as usual with him being in school, but the thing is though, while being in school, he wanted to leave and go out there and be Spider-Man to clear his mind. And so of course, when school ended, he did put on his Spider-Man outfit and he did basically go web sling around New York to clear his mind. The thing is though, while he was going around New York, he did run into the Ultimates. Now guys, remember, the Ultimates in this universe, they are this universe version of the Avengers. They go by the name the Ultimates. But the thing is though guys, the Ultimates are right now fighting against a new character be introduced in the Ultimate Marvel universe. This character name is Deathlok. Now honestly guys, I would try to sit down and explain the origin of Deathlok, but the thing is though guys, Brian Michael Bendis does not give us the origin of Deathlok in this book at all. And so guys, the thing is though, while the Ultimates are fighting against Deathlok, they are having a hard time defeating him. Now, luckily for the Ultimates, Peter Parker does come in and he does knock out Deathlok as a way to help out the Ultimates. Now, you do have Peter Parker tell Mary Jane after helping the Ultimates, he did go to work at the Daily Bugle as a way to pick up some extra cash to pay for tonight's dinner. The thing is though, as soon as Peter Parker arrived at the Daily Bugle, J. Jonah Jameson called Peter Parker into his office to basically give Peter his first assignment. Now, this is not Peter Parker going on his first assignment as a reporter by himself. This is JJ saying, listen, you need to learn on how to be a good reporter. And so I am going to partner you up with Ben Urich to learn more on how to be a good reporter. And your first assignment is to basically go interview Doctor Strange. Now, this is where you kind of have Brian Michael Bendis give us the origin of Doctor Strange in this universe. And the thing is though guys, you do have Brian Michael Bendis tell us that there has been 2 Doctor Strange in the universe of Ultimate Marvel. The first Doctor Strange has the same exact origin as the main Marvel timeline Doctor Strange, where basically you had the first Doctor Strange leaving some kind of surgery, but the thing is though, he got in a bad car accident which then shattered his hands and basically losing the ability to do surgery on people's minds. But the thing is though, as soon as he lost the ability to do surgery, of course he traveled the world and he found the ancient great one, or so the great ancient one, and he learned how to use magic. Now the thing is though, when it comes to the first Doctor Strange, he disappeared because he was fighting against some kind of demon or something. And so he disappeared 20 years ago. And so the Doctor Strange that Peter Parker and Ben Urich are going to meet is the son of Doctor Strange. And so right now, guys, in Ultimate Marvel, the new Doctor Strange is not as powerful as the original Doctor Strange. He is still learning how to use every single magical abilities that were left behind by his father. Now, of course, when Peter Parker and Ben Urich arrive at this house to get the interview with Doctor Strange, of course, they do get turned away by Wong. And Wong tells Peter Parker and Ben Urich that the doctor is not doing well right now. Now, the thing is though, as soon as Wong tells Peter Parker and Ben Urich that, Peter Parker's spider sense goes off. And so you do have Ben Urich leave Peter Parker there at the house. But the thing is though, Peter Parker does put on his Spider-Man outfit and he does break into the home of Doctor Strange because he believed something is wrong because his spider sense went off. The thing is though, we do jump back over to Mary Jane and Peter Parker on their date, and you have Peter Parker tell Mary Jane that he does not remember anything at all. As soon as he broke into the house to help out Doctor Strange, he saw Wong using some kind of crystal on Doctor Strange, but that's the last thing he remembered. And the thing is though, you have Peter Parker say, now I'm here. Like, I have no idea what happened after that. And the thing is though, guys, you have Mary Jane kind of slowly ask questions in a weird way, but she also slowly turns into a demon. And so Peter Parker starts to freak out because he has no idea what in the world is going on. And you have this demonic looking Mary Jane tell Peter Parker that right when he broke into the home of Doctor Strange, he was knocked out and he never woke up. And so right now he's trapped in some kind of nightmare, and he does get grabbed from behind from Gwen Stacy and Uncle Ben. And of course, this is Brian Michael Bendis telling us that Peter Parker is in some kind of nightmare. Now guys, we do pick up with Doctor Strange himself. Now the thing is though, guys, Doctor Strange is waking up after being knocked out by some unknown force. Now when he does wake up, he does look over and he does see that Peter Parker, aka Spider-Man, is knocked out. But when he looks to the left, he also sees that Wong is somehow trying to call out for help, but he can't because his mouth is all webbed up. Now, you do have Doctor Strange remove the web, and he does ask Wong, what in the world happened here? And you have Wong tell Doctor Strange, listen, I was trying to help you out because while you and I were meditating, out of nowhere, you passed out. But the thing is though, I try to use the crystals as a way to wake you up. The problem is though, Peter Parker, aka Spider-Man, barged into our home, but he believed that I was doing something to you. And so he attacked me, but after he attacked me, he got knocked out also as well. And so you woke up, but he hasn't. Now, we do jump over to the actual nightmare of Peter Parker. And guys, this is where you kind of have Brian Michael Bendis use this nightmare as a way to show us the worst fear of Peter Parker. And his worst fear is that he's afraid everybody he is close to is going to end up dead one day. Because so far, he already lost Uncle Ben, Gwen Stacy. Guys, he even counts Eddie Brock because at this point in in Ultimate Marvel Comics, Eddie Brock is supposedly dead. And so for him, he's kind of like, I hurt so many people for just being Spider-Man. He even says, I even hurt Harry Osborn. My friend is somewhere in the world locked away from the rest of the world because of what happened between me and his father. And so you kind of have Brian Michael Bendis use this book as a way to say Peter Parker is afraid that every single person that he is close to is going to end up dead one day. Now, we do jump back over to Doctor Strange. And the thing is though, guys, you do have Doctor Strange right now looking through every single book as a way to figure out what in the world is going on, what is affecting Peter Parker. And we come to find out that it's some kind of demon named Nightmare. Now guys, Nightmare is actually a character in both Ultimate Marvel and the main Marvel universe, and Nightmare is usually a Doctor Strange bad guy. Now the thing is though, guys, just like as you're seeing right now, Nightmare, he's basically trapped in a different realm. But the thing is though, he's trying to come into this universe, but the only way he's able to do that if he has some kind of vessel. And so right now, he's trapping Peter Parker's mind in some kind of nightmare until he is able to take over Peter Parker's body to basically cause hell on Earth. Now, guys, of course, Doctor Strange was able to find some kind of way to wake up Peter Parker, and the way he had to do it was to use some kind of spell to go into the mind of Peter Parker to actually fight against Nightmare. Now, we do get a few pages of Peter Parker kind of watching this fight between Doctor Strange and Nightmare, but the thing is though, guys, Doctor Strange was able to defeat Nightmare just for this moment. But the thing is though, Nightmare did get away and he was able to escape into the real world to look for a vessel for his fitting. Now the thing is though, after Doctor Strange was able to wake up Peter Parker, you do have Peter Parker kind of freak out and he does go home. And the thing is though, he is so scared. He is so scared after having that nightmare. When Mary Jane comes by to have their actual date, Peter Parker is too scared to even open up the door to his girlfriend because of what he just had a nightmare of. And guys, that wraps up today's video. And guys, please leave me a like down below and also subscribe for more comic book stories in the near future. But guys, if you also have any suggestions on books I should read, let me know in the comments below. But guys, I'm out of here and I'll see y'all in the next comic book video. What's going on there, YouTube? And welcome to Fresh Comic Stories. Guys, this is the channel where we basically sit down and cover different kinds of comic book stories. Now guys, today we are going to go ahead and continue our coverage over the Ultimate Marvel Universe. And guys, we're going to pick up with Ultimate Spider-Man and we are going to cover the Hobgoblin storyline. Guys, honestly, this is one of the best storylines to me personally in the Ultimate Marvel Universe. And the reason why is because this was the first story I collected in the Ultimate Spider-Man comic book line. Now guys, I do hope you enjoyed this storyline, and if you do, please leave me a like and also subscribe for more comic book videos in the near future. But guys, let's go ahead and dive into Ultimate Spider-Man, the Hobgoblin storyline. Now guys, to begin today's storyline, we do pick up 9 months in the past. Now the thing is though guys, we pick up with Peter Parker right now being bit by the spider that will make him become Spider-Man down the road. But the thing is though guys, this is Brian Michael Bendis retconning his own Ultimate Spider-Man timeline. And what I mean is that guys, you do have Brian Michael Bendis give us more information about Peter Parker and Mary Jane's life before he became Spider-Man. Because guys, after the field trip, Mary Jane went home and she's basically outside her house right now reading her textbook. But the thing is though, she is greeted by Harry Osborn. And this is where we come to find out that before Peter Parker and Mary Jane had a thing, Harry Osborn and Mary Jane had a thing, that they were a couple. Now, we do jump back over to the present day, and we do pick up with Spider-Man fighting against a C-list character named Killer Shrike. And I really hope I pronounce his last name correctly. Now the thing is though guys, when it comes to Killer Shrike in the main Marvel timeline, honestly, like I said, he is a C-list character. He is hardly ever used, but his whole origin story was that he was an ex-military person who went to Roxxon and got some good equipment where basically he is able to release electric shocks from his hand. That's really it. That's his whole origin story. But in the Ultimate Marvel Universe, we have no idea what his origin is. And the thing is though guys, this is Brian Michael Bendis just using him as a throwaway character because Peter Parker is able to defeat him very easily. Now, as soon as Peter Parker is able to defeat him, Peter Parker does go back to school. But the thing is though, when he does get back to school, he realized that Harry Osborn has returned back to school as well. And the thing is though guys, we have not seen Harry Osborn in the present day time of Ultimate Spider-Man since the Ultimate 6 storyline. And that took place about 30 issues ago. And so right now for Peter Parker, it's kind of like, oh my God, you're back. Like, you're actually back here at Midtown High. Now the thing is though, as soon as Harry and the rest of the gang goes to class, you do have Peter Parker talk to Mary Jane. And he does tell Mary Jane that she needs to stay away from Harry Osborn because he is still freaking out over the whole Ultimate 6 storyline, because to him, Norman Osborn is crazy, and Harry Osborn still does not like Peter Parker because he blames Peter Parker for what happened to his father, Norman Osborn. And so you have Peter tell Mary Jane, we can't trust Harry. We cannot trust him at all. I need you to stay away from him. Now, this actually does start a fight between Mary Jane and Peter Parker, but honestly, this part right here is not that important. Now, we do jump forward to, like, I want to say after school, but the thing is though, when Peter Parker gets home from school and he walks into his home and get ready to pack up to move, out of nowhere, Harry Osborn greets him once again. But the thing is though guys, Harry Osborn is the one to inform Peter Parker that him and Mary Jane used to date before Peter had Mary Jane in his life. And this is the first time Peter Parker realized that his girlfriend dated his best friend before him. Now guys, when it comes to the second chapter of the Hobgoblin storyline, you do have Brian Michael Bendis use this chapter as a way to retcon more things into the Ultimate Spider-Man timeline. Now, the thing is though guys, this is him giving us more information about Harry Osborn before he came back to Midtown High. Now, we do pick up with Harry Osborn at this unknown location, and Nick Fury kept Harry Osborn there as a way to make sure that one day he'll be ready to go back to Midtown High. The thing is though, when Nick Fury goes to see Harry Osborn, he realized that Harry has forgotten every single thing about the Green Goblin. When Nick Fury says, "Do you know why you were kept here?" Harry says, "No." He says, "Listen, do you know what happened to your mother?" He says, "My mom died in the fire." "And do you know what happened to your father?" And he says, "My father is missing." And so Nick Fury has to remind Harry Osborn everything about his father, saying, "Listen, your dad went crazy. He turned into the Green Goblin. He killed your mother. Like, dude, your dad's not missing. Your dad's in jail right now for a good reason." But the thing is though guys, those memories have been blocked in Harry Osborn's mind. And so for some strange reason, he cannot remember those things. Now we know why, because when it comes to Harry Osborn, he has been seeing a therapist, and this therapist has been blocking those memories. And so that's why Harry Osborn has no idea that his father was the Green Goblin. Now, we do jump forward the next day. And the thing is though guys, 6 days before Harry Osborn came back to Midtown High, he was watching Peter Parker and Mary Jane talk to Johnny Storm. And guys, we covered that storyline as well. But the thing is though, he was watching Peter Parker and Mary Jane, and he's kind of like, oh great, they're a couple now. They are actually together. Now, we do jump forward to the point where it's now 3 days before Harry Osborn comes back to Midtown High. And the thing is though guys, right now Harry Osborn is chilling in his penthouse until he gets a phone call. And the thing is though, the phone call tells him to go downstairs. And when he gets downstairs, he is greeted by Mr. Shaw. Now guys, Mr. Shaw has not been seen since Ultimate Spider-Man Volume 1. But the thing is though guys, Mr. Shaw was kind of like this henchman of Norman Osborn. He always did Norman Osborn's dirty work. But the thing is though, he tells Harry to get in the car. Now, he does take Harry to this He does take Harry to this unknown location, and he says, listen, your dad did not want you to remember him being the Green Goblin until he felt like you were ready. And the thing is though, I feel like you are ready to remember everything about your father. And the thing is though guys, you have Mr. Shaw go to this unknown bunker, and he says, cellar door. And as soon as he says that, every single memory that was blocked in Harry Osborn's mind comes right back. And Harry remembers everything about his father being the Green Goblin. But the thing is though, you do have Mr. Shaw says, down there in that bunker is everything you need to continue your father's legacy. Now, we do jump back over to the present day. And the thing is though guys, we do pick up with Peter Parker and Harry Osborn. Now the thing is though guys, Peter Parker is still in shock right now because he just found out that his best friend basically dated his girlfriend before him. And so Peter's kind of like, excuse me? Are you telling me that Mary Jane and you had a thing before me and her? Now, you do have Harry Osborn kind of hug Peter Parker because to Harry, he's kind of like, listen, man, in this crazy world, we only have each other because thanks to my father, we both have crazy lives. And so right now, you're the only person I have, and basically, I'm the only person you have. Now, Harry does leave Peter Parker's home, but the thing is though, this is huge for Peter Parker because guys, we do jump forward the next day. And we do pick up with Peter Parker, Mary Jane, and Harry Osborn in class. But the thing is though, Mary Jane is trying to get Peter Parker's attention. Kind of like, hey man, you want to go make out at lunch? But Peter Parker is ignoring her because he is upset with her for not telling him about Harry Osborn. And so you do have Peter Parker go onto the rooftop and put on his Spider-Man outfit. And you do have Mary Jane confront him, asking him, what is wrong? Why are you upset with me? And you have Peter Parker say, because you did not tell me about you and Harry Osborn. And Mary Jane's kind of like, what do you mean? And he tells her, Harry told me everything. He told me how you guys used to date. And this is huge for Mary Jane because to her, she felt like it was no big deal. But now she realizing to Peter Parker that it is a big deal. Now, Peter tells Mary Jane, just please stay away from Harry Osborn. Just stay away from him. And you do have Peter Parker just leave school. He goes out to be Spider-Man and does not come back. Now, you do have Mary Jane confront Harry Osborn about him telling Peter Parker about them dating. And the thing is though, Harry's kind of like, listen, I thought he knew because you guys been together for so long. I thought he knew. And so I felt like maybe I should just bring it up and say, hey man, did you know that me and Mary Jane had a thing? I thought he knew, but come to find out, he had no idea at all. And so you do have Mary Jane and Harry Osborn argue with one another on what is best for Peter Parker and also what is best for her. Now the thing is though guys, we do pick up with Peter Parker going back home, and the thing is though, when he gets back home, not Mary Jane, sorry, Aunt May realized that her nephew is going through something, and of course it does involve Harry Osborn. And so we do get a page or two of Aunt May kind of being a good mother to Peter Parker. Now the thing is though, the phone does ring. And Peter Parker does answer the phone. And when he gets the phone, he realizes it's Harry Osborn on the line. And Harry tells Peter Parker, it's time. It's time for you to help me. bring the costume. Now, guys, we do jump back over to the past. And the thing is, though, guys, we do pick up with Harry Osborn and Mr. Shaw right now about to walk down into the bunker to see what Norman Osborn left behind for Harry Osborn. Now, the thing is, though, when Harry Osborn sees everything that his father left for him, he freaks out because everything his dad left for him is a way to turn Harry Osborn into a goblin. And so he's kind of like, listen, your dad left this here for you. Now the thing is, though, guys, Harry Osborn freaks out. He freaks out and he tries to run away because he remembers that his father is the Green Goblin, that his father killed his mother. And so for Harry, he's kind of like, no, my father is a monster. I do not want to become like him. Now the thing is, though, guys, you do have Mr. Shaw use the code word to kind of knock out Harry Osborn. But the thing is, though, when Harry Osborn wakes back up, he's back home in his penthouse. Now you do have Mr. Shaw tell Harry, listen, you freaked out and I had to knock you out, and so I brought you back home. But let me tell you something, that it's time for you to man up because we have to find your father. Now, you do have Harry ask Mr. Shaw, okay, how in the world are we going to do that? Like, how are we going to find my father? And you have Mr. Shaw say, Peter Parker. Peter Parker is the one person who knows where your father is being held at. You need to get Peter Parker to help us out. Now we do jump back over to the present day, and the thing is, though, guys, we do pick up with we do pick up with Aunt May telling Peter Parker that he cannot leave because after the phone call where Harry Osborn called Peter Parker, Peter did ask Aunt May, can he leave, and she said no, because right now it's a school night, and 2, Harry Osborn is a bad person. Now, we do jump over to the next day, and the thing is, though, guys, we do get a few pages of Peter Parker giving Mary Jane the cold shoulder because right now he's upset at the whole world, at Harry Osborn, Aunt May, Mary Jane, Norman Osborn. Like, he's upset at the whole world right now. Now the thing is, though, guys, at lunchtime you do have Mary Jane go talk to Peter Parker. And the thing is, though, guys, at first it does seem like these two are okay because you do have Mary Jane tell Peter Parker that she is sorry for not telling him about her dating Harry Osborn. Now, the thing is, though, you do have Mary Jane tell Peter Parker that Harry Osborn told her a while back that he was the one to kill Norman Osborn, that Peter Parker killed Norman Osborn. And as soon as Peter heard that, he's kind of like, excuse me? He said, what? He told you that I was the one that killed his father? I didn't do that. I did not kill his father. His father is being locked up right now. His father's locked up in a SHIELD prison. He is not dead. He is locked away to stay away because he's a bad person. And as soon as Peter Parker heard that from Mary Jane, he runs off. He runs off because he's kind of like, it's time for me to deal with this problem. And so he does put on his Spider-Man outfit and he does web sling over to the penthouse of Harry Osborn. Now, we do pick up with Harry Osborn, and the thing is, though, guys, Harry Osborn is once again talking to Mr. Shaw. Now, the thing is, though, guys, you do have Mr. Shaw tell Harry Osborn it's time to get Peter Parker involved. But he has to play it cool. He has to go to school and act like everything is normal. The thing is, though, guys, as soon as Peter Parker walks into the penthouse, he realized that Harry Osborn has gone crazy because we're seeing Harry Osborn argue with Mr. Shaw. But the thing is, though, when Peter Parker walks in the room, he realized that Harry Osborn is talking to nobody, that there's nobody in the room at all, that Harry Osborn this whole time has been talking to himself. Mr. Shaw has not been there at all. And the thing is though, guys, with Harry Osborn seeing Peter Parker and arguing with Mr. Shaw in his own mind, out of nowhere, you do have Harry Osborn fall to the ground. And guys, this is where we come to find out that back in Volume 1, when Norman Osborn turned himself into the Green Goblin, that explosion also hit Harry Osborn. And so Harry Osborn also has the Oz formula inside of him. And so with the Oz formula being inside of him, you do have Harry Osborn turn into a goblin, or he starts to turn into a goblin. Now guys, when it comes to chapter 5 of this book, this chapter right here is all about Peter Parker fighting against Harry Osborn. That's really it. It's literally just Peter Parker fighting against Harry Osborn. Now the thing is though, guys, while they're fighting against one another, you do have Mary Jane on her way to Harry Osborn's penthouse because she wants to talk to Harry Osborn to see who is lying to her, Peter Parker or Harry Osborn. And so that's why she's on her way to go visit Harry Osborn. The thing is though, of course, when she arrives in the middle of the city, all she sees is Peter Parker fighting against the Hobgoblin, fighting against Harry Osborn. Now, guys, this fight scene to me, honestly, is pretty cool. Honestly, it's an amazing fight. But anyways though, guys, you do have Hobgoblin realize that Mary Jane is right there. And so you do have Hobgoblin turn his attention towards Mary Jane. And Peter Parker has to go save her before she gets grabbed by Harry Osborn. Now, the thing is though, as soon as Peter Parker is able to save her life, he tells her to get out of here. Like, just freaking get out of here. Because right now, Harry Osborn is the Hobgoblin. Like, he is the Hobgoblin and he's going around on a rampage right now. I need you to go away. Now, this part right here though, guys, is very important down the road. But the thing is though, you do have Peter Parker continue to fight against the Hobgoblin. But the thing is though, Peter Parker is just tired of the whole goblin thing. He's tired of Green Goblin and Hobgoblin. And so right now, you have Peter Parker just punching down on Harry Osborn. And he's kind of like, can this freaking end? Like, no more goblins. But to wrap up chapter 5, you have Harry Osborn in his Hobgoblin form asking Peter Parker to kill him off. Now guys, to go ahead and wrap up today's video, you do have Peter Parker stop punching Harry Osborn. Instead, he tries to talk to Harry. He's kind of like, man, listen, you and I can work this out. You and I can find a way to help you to fix your goblin problem. The thing is though, guys, in Harry Osborn's mind, Mr. Shaw is still talking to him. And so Mr. Shaw is telling him, dude, do not listen to Peter Parker. Just go ahead and make Peter Parker tell you where your father is at. And so you have Harry Osborn continue the fight between Peter Parker and Harry Osborn. Now, we do jump over to the base of the Ultimates, and we do pick up with Nick Fury. And the thing is though, guys, right now you have Nick Fury being interviewed by a random reporter. The thing is though, out of nowhere, you do have the reporter tell Nick Fury that they have to cut his show in half because they have breaking news that is happening in the middle of New York. And guys, this is where Nick Fury finds out that Harry Osborn has the Oz formula inside of him. And right now, he's a goblin in the middle of New York. And you have Nick Fury say, give me the Hulkbuster unit right now. Now, we do jump back over to the fight between Peter Parker and the Hobgoblin. The thing is though, guys, again, is honestly a couple more pages of these two going back and forth. But the thing is though, Nick Fury does step in. He's kind of like, no. It's time for me to step in. It's time for me to handle this problem. And you have Nick Fury and the Hulkbuster unit just rain down fire on the Hobgoblin to the point where he does turn back into just regular day Harry Osborn. Now, this is a big moment because you have Spider-Man confront Nick Fury. He's kind of like, how did this happen? You were supposed to prevent this from happening. How in the world did my friend turn into the Hobgoblin? Where were you? How in the world did you not know that the Oz formula was inside of him? But the thing is though, guys, you have Nick Fury tell Peter Parker, just go home. Just go home. Because right now, this is way ahead your grade paid. Like, I butchered that. You have Nick Fury say, just go home. Just go home and leave. Now the thing is though, guys, Peter Parker is kind of like, no. And he punches Nick Fury right in the face. And the thing is though, guys, you have Nick Fury tell his man, don't shoot him, let him go. He's honestly just a kid who is upset. Let this kid go home. And you have Peter Parker go home. But the thing is though, guys, you do have Peter Parker go check up on Mary Jane because again, she was in the middle of that fight for a brief second. But the thing is though, guys, this is Peter Parker yelling at Mary Jane. He's kind of like, listen, you do not listen to me. I tell you to stay away from Harry Osborn. You do the exact opposite. And the thing is though, Mary Jane, this is not a game. You could end up dead like Uncle Ben or Gwen Stacy. This is real life. If something happens to you, it's my fault. And that's why I try to tell you, you cannot be involved with my life. That's why I ask you to stay where you're at, to leave Harry Osborn alone, because you could have died today. But the thing is though, guys, you have Mary Jane trying to comfort Peter Parker, telling him everything is okay. Like, let's just talk about this. But the thing is though, guys, you have Peter Parker just run away. And that tells Mary Jane that Peter Parker and Mary Jane are over. This is their second official breakup. They are officially over. Now, guys, I could cover the one shot where basically Mary Jane goes on a date with a different man, but the thing is, guys, honestly, it's not that important. Instead, we're going to cover Ultimate Spider-Man Annual #1, and that's the book right there where we get to see Peter Parker kind of get along with Kitty Pryde to the point where they start to date. But guys, this is where I'm going to end today's video, so please leave me a like down below and also subscribe for more comic book videos in the near future. Also, any suggestions on books I should read, let me know in the comments below. But guys, I'm out of here and I'll see you on the next comic book video.